until around 12 Central. A little bit before that, like 11:45 Central. As in nighttime. What do I think life looked like before feminism? Mm, to be as charitable as possible. Probably more patriarchal. But I like the patriarchy, so no problem. 7. I just got out the gym. Now you just got off of work. Now it's time to eat this. Yes, it is salmon. Oh, thanks for the likes. There you go. Wild links. You cunt. I got a like now. What you got to say about it now? Hmm. That's slander right there. You're getting blocked. Eat a dick. Cunt. Don't do that over here. Why would I engage somebody in bad faith? That was a good one. I'll give you that one, Oliver. My anti-melanin. That's a good one. We'll let that one air out. Thanks for the likes. Appreciate it. People call me Mark Zuckerberg. I don't understand why. I doubt that they're happier. I doubt that they're happier. I think they would probably be happy with kids rather than a degree. Most people, I mean, a lot of women I've come across explain they get a job to become self-sustainable, but then also to kind of create some type of life raft just in case their husband starts being mean to them, so they have to leave. And then they just waste like 5 to 15 years of their life not getting married and having kids. I think women are happier in families being the mother of children because most women would give up a career to be a mother. Hell, that explains part of the reason why there's a gender pay gap. I'm in a traditional dynamic with my future husband. That's good to hear, Seven. Glad you're on the right track, on the right path. Feminism is where it's at. I don't know, John. I'm not so sure about that. And we're rhyming. Thanks for the alley oop. Hello. Hello to you, Zelvra. Hello to you, Zelvra. 22. That's your age? You try to get married, Zel? Or, I mean, not with me, but in general? Zelvra. No, my eyes are not brown. They are hazel. Hazel. I think. I have like yellow and by my iris. You're engaged. That's good to hear, man. You gonna retire your wife or are you the wife, Zelvra? Well, you call me brother, so I'm assuming you're a man. You retiring your wife? Your fiance? 7. I don't take it anyway. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I have nystagmus. I do. Well, hopefully you can experience that one day. Retiring your wife. Let's see. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate you're not able to practice giving one of the best gifts to humanity. Sandra. But some people are asexual. Because I cannot want what is false. Equality is false. The best we can do is delude ourselves and make legislation towards that. But why should I want what is false? Men and women are not equal. We have different parts, different roles, different strengths, different weaknesses, therefore different expectations, responsibilities, and accompanied authority. That's just reality. Right now we're living in delusion land where feminists got everybody force drinking Kool-Aid. And if you don't believe in it, you get silenced or flagged or you get your life restricted. That's the rigidity and the enforcement of feminism. Lotus says, what's feminism? The promotion of egalitarianism amongst the sexes and the movement away from patriarchy. Okay, so what is equal cannot be different. Do you understand that? Feminism is the liberation from the patriarchy. Yeah, while still depending on it, Millie. You guys still depend, feminists, women in general, depend on the patriarchy. Is it true all men cheat? Hardly. No. No. Not most, but you may have a if men had as much options as women, you might have had an argument. Because if men had as much options as women do, they'd probably be going off the rails with it. If you, yeah, that's all I'll say about it without getting restricted here. If you're not a woman, then you can't speak of them. Men are wrong, and they think with their men are wrong, and they think with their wieners. Women run off of emotions. They politically vote off of empathy, which has currently reached a self-destructive rate now. Women think with their emotions. So I'm not sure why that's any different than men. So if I've never owned a slave, can I say slavery is wrong? Such comments are foolish. What do you mean options? I mean, women have tons of men who want to sleep with them basically constantly. Your average man does not have those type of options. If a man goes to a bar, it has a sign on his chest that says, I would like to copulate with whoever would like. He's not going to get nowhere near as much options as if there was a woman who did the same. This is just reality. You're legit saying women's only option is kids and marriage. What options? Yeah, when did I ever say that, Sandra? Perhaps you're strawmanning. Women have always been able to work. They were still, as a matter of fact, the main jobs that women are doing now, they were doing back before women got the right to vote. Outside of HR. Women were still teachers. Women were still nurses. So it's interesting. They still want to do the same things they did 100 years ago, which speaks to their which speaks to men and women being different. Absolute BS on my FYP. Oh yeah, try and debate. Come up and have a discussion. Because right now it's just yap yap. Thanks for the likes. Appreciate it. It can't be for money. Yeah, it's called conviction. Perhaps you never heard of it. Why are you an anti-feminist? Well, one of the reasons is people in the chat, at least at this moment. Their arguments are always really, really bad. And they always dodge questions. Why am I a feminist? Because feminism is a cancer. And for the sake of the prompt, it's ruined. It's a big cause of why dating is so bad right now. A big cause. All right, am I AI? I don't know. What don't think the purpose of men and women role are? I'm not sure what that. Perhaps you want to rephrase that, Unicorn. Do people want to sleep with you? Is this why you resorted to this? Do you value how many people someone has slept with as actual value? Because if you do, that's rather sad. I hope you're not a feminist.
This guy right here, man, this guy hates women.
What's going on, man? What's your age?
Bro, you are a disgrace to the albino community.
I can be that. You can be kicked out into the chat. I'll be the only albino to be anti-feminist. That's fine. Let's see. Feminism saved a lot of women from being used and married despite themselves. What's your evidence of that? What is your evidence of that? This is the problem with feminism, is you guys only care about yourselves. You don't care about the future society. And if you stick around, I'll prove it. The tally cannibalism. Thanks for coming on.
I have a question. Are you asking for anti-feminist dating advice, or are you not a feminist?
I'm an anti-feminist. What's your age, ma'am?
Oh, my age is 25.
All right. Well, now that you got your
Can I
question
ask
answered.
why you are an anti-feminist?
Well, I view feminism as harmful towards dating because it creates distorted incentives for both men and women when it comes to dating. Men
Really?
are taught to disregard their feelings and their emotions towards things like body count, fertility windows, attraction, whether it be through weight or age. And women are shamed into being anything but a mother, because if that's all you want to do, what do you want to be, a slave? They teach women to run away from quote unquote toxic males.
Okay. So what would you classify as a quote unquote toxic male?
A feminist.
Hmm.
But
Well,
I think how you guys might say it is somebody who adheres to gender norms or insists on them and holds boundaries with those type of ideas towards women.
Okay.
or people that he deals with. I think you guys would call that toxic.
I don't know if I would say that. I mean, everybody has their own preference and everybody likes what they like. Some men don't care about body counts and some women don't care if a man can't get his dick up. But what really matters is if the relationship is built on a trusting foundation. If you find somebody who has the same qualifications that you're looking for, I applaud you and I think that you should go for that. Now, do I think that it is actually a talking point worthy of a conversation? No. But clearly you're here. So there must be a large group of people who feel the same as you. I mean, I just had to know, because I wasn't sure if you were asking for dating advice or if you were like a Dean Withers kind of guy. So I just wanted to see like what was going on here. But now that it's clear to me, I find it interesting. Especially, would you say that you have a hard time finding women to be with?
No, I'm married.
You're married?
Real quick. Kamal, what's your age?
16.
Kamal, can you hear me? You might want to speak up.
Yeah. I'm 16.
You said you're 16. All right, come on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to drop you down. You gotta be 18 and over. But thanks for coming up. In 2 years, you're welcome back up.
Well,
Calliston. Calliston, thanks for coming up. What's your age?
I'm 20. And why do you look like an inbred?
Whoa, I didn't
Like
say
your
that.
family tree is very much circular.
Where's your profile picture at?
No, but why do you look
All right,
like
so
your family tree
so
is
right now
circular?
you're just sniping. Yeah, you don't even have your profile pick up. You have an avatar, bro. You probably have bitch tits. So, anyways, you have any other questions, Italy?
No, that was my only question.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for coming up. Have a great rest of your day. You're
Nope.
welcome back up. Calliston, you can insult in the chat, but request back up again. You're getting blocked. Last warning. Last warning. All right. See you in the netherworld. All right, on the YouTube side, I will prioritize all questions and I will allow it to derail the panel when it starts. Josh, thanks for coming up. Or thanks for the support, Josh. My nigga. Much appreciated. So, he's just scared to get cooked. Bro, it's against terms of service for me to talk to people who are under 18. Nice. Why would I be scared of a prepubescent human? Cigar.
What up, bro, man?
What's going on?
I was passing through and I
what's your
saw,
age,
and I,
Scary?
you know, I am 39.
All right, what brings you up today?
Well, I was hoping you can help me out with the predicament that I'm in.
All right.
Chick that I'm dating.
Phage, come back up. You can request back up. I gotta deal with this. What's going on?
Chick that I'm dating. We've been together for about 2.5 years. We got our own place, but the mom is single. The mom's like been divorced 3 times, I guess. But
Is she the mom?
No, she's not the mom. Her mom. I'm talking about her mom. Her mom wants to be too involved in the relationship. Tell her where to live. She's already saying, "Oh, I'll live with y'all," and this and that. I checked her once, but
do you want
yeah.
that?
No, hell no, I don't want that.
What does your girl
Well,
say about it?
My girl's like, wouldn't it be nice though? She can take care of the kid, and we can go to work, and we can be a big old family. I'm like, hell no, that shit ain't. I feel like a guest in my own house.
Have you noticed any influence from? Have you noticed any negative influence from your soon-to-be stepmom, or soon-to-be mother-in-law? Have you noticed any negative influence from her to your relationship?
She's just, I wouldn't say negative influence, but well, I guess like going to the casino. She always wants to go with her daughter to the casino and shit. On the
So
weekends.
your girl and her mom like to gamble, or they just do periodically?
Periodically.
Does she gamble outside of the casino?
No.
What's her spending habits like?
Like at the casino, like
in general.
400. Oh, in general, no, she's pretty conservative. She's pretty cool. It's just the mother-in-law wants to be involved, and I just want to like nap it in the butt and end that shit immediately. So like it's set in stone. Like, yeah, you better not even think about this shit anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, is it a deal breaker to you? Like, let's just say, what is the worst case scenario in the future for your interaction and your mother's interaction? What does that worst case scenario look like?
Worst case scenario, like I wake up in the morning and she's already up, and like I can't be myself. I can't use the bathroom. I can't use the shower with the door open. I just can't be myself.
Because the mother will be there.
Because the mother will be there. And then also when we have kids, I don't want to have to deal with someone else who wants to have authority over my kids. You know what I mean?
Josh, thanks for the goat, man. Yeah, so man, I'm making when you guys get married, who's gonna be the provider?
Well, about that, I told her you can stay home, be a stay-at-home mom, and her mom stepped in and said, "Oh no, well she went to school. She didn't go to school for nothing. She wants to do X, Y, and Z."
This is just a straight up binary villain to your marriage.
Yeah,
why is she inserting herself in your marriage, or in your relationship?
I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. She always has something to say. If we talk in front of her, like if we're discussing shit, I made a mistake where I was like, oh, she's normal. Like she's gonna know that she's just like the mother. But she'll like, and another thing, my girl tells her everything. Everything that goes on, she goes and tells her.
Okay. So this is not good. This is a red flag here. Where are you explaining to me that your girl is currently venting or confiding in her mother about you?
Yes. If
And
anything
her.
happens, exactly. If anything happens, she'll run to her mother and tell her everything. Everything.
Does she
Every
have
little detail.
friends?
She's got friends, yeah.
Is she a Christian?
No.
When do you plan on getting married?
Within the next 2 or 3 years.
Hmm. It's not. This is kind of a big thorn, man. Think about the type of relationship you're gonna have, where if you get in a disagreement, regardless of whether you're right or wrong, your your information is going to be told to your step or your mother-in-law. Your
Mhm.
secrets, your desires, your aspirations, your flaws.
Yes.
You're basically in a relationship with 1.5 people.
Yeah, I feel that way.
Is it worth it to you? Do you want to have kids in an environment like that?
I don't. I've tried ending it with her a couple of times in the past, and she just fucking stalks me and shit. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so this is another red flag here. Thanks for the follow. This is another red flag, man, because it's like, it's understandable when you're in love and intimacy is already out the cat's out of the bag as far as intimacy is concerned. You guys live with each other?
Yeah.
Does the mother live with you guys?
No. 5 minutes away. Always over though. Every day. Every freaking day, dude.
Oh man, get her. I would recommend off of that alone, because what's going to happen is your mother's going to start raising
Resentment.
your children by
I
proxy.
know.
So you're
I
going to have
know.
3 parents in the house.
I know. I don't. Do I?
You might not even
How do
you
I?
might not even have 2 parents. I mean, you might not even have 3. You might just have 2, because if you're, how much do you see that your girlfriend is influenced by that mother, her mother?
A lot.
Do you like
I
her?
would
Do
say
you like her mother's
more than.
personality?
No, I don't.
You realize she's going to start to become like her, and it's gonna show itself even worse once the stakes get higher. When there's ever any big decisions that need to be made, when there is ever any uncertainty or a conflict, she's going to rely on her mother for guidance to dictate how her mother wants the relationship to go. And you're going to see that more in her as things get harder, because they will get harder. You're going to get more
Yeah.
time at work. You're going to get a flat tire. You might come up, you might be in a financial hard time. You might get injured. There's many things that can happen where you're going to come up on hard times, and your girl is going to rely on her mother, and she's going to be the authority figure by proxy. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
If your girl really saw you as a leader, she wouldn't go to her mother for guidance or direction. It's
Yeah.
practically showing you that she doesn't respect you like that.
So, just based on this little information, you would you recommend, if I was your friend or your brother, what would you say at this point?
If you were my best friend, I would counsel you to get out of that relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As you were talking, I was thinking about my best friend. How would I advise such a man? I wouldn't want you in that situation, because I could foresee the damage to come. Because, is she a liberal? Your girl?
She used to be more liberal. I wouldn't say she's conservative, but she's more liberal than conservative.
What about her mother?
Liberal. Yeah, the mother is 70, 75, single. I guess her ex-husband died recently,
It's
like
unfortunate.
3, 4 years ago. Yeah. But because she's alone and she's bored all the time, she thinks like she's part of our life. Like that's her life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense because is that they're her only child or does she have other kids?
She's got another kid, but she's got an older son, but the older son doesn't really come around because
And
I
it's only
guess
been 2 years?
2.5, yeah.
I'm thinking about there could be redeeming qualities about this girl, but this is a really big thorn, man. This is an obstacle.
She's cool though. I mean, she is pretty cool. Like she's very loyal. She's very caring. She's there for me whenever I've needed anything. She's always been there for me. But it's just the only problem I have is her mother.
What I would recommend then, if you're insistent on staying, I would recommend seeing if you can draw that line. I would express to you like I would express to anyone that you shouldn't be having any problems that you bring to your friends, your parents, whatever about relationship problems. This is a big no-no. You want to resolve it in-house. You don't want any outside influence because they're going to have an obvious bias.
Yeah, I agree.
If you can manage to get her to stop confiding about your relationship with her, that would be one thing. And another thing, you might want to have an agreement like, hey, if we get married, I'm not trying to have no. I don't want your mother moving in. I don't want any of that. There's nothing wrong with seeing her periodically, but this whole I need to marry you and your best friend / mother, I'm not interested. What type of future can you see when things work out? What does that look like?
When things work out, she works part-time. I have my own business. She helps me out, probably does some paperwork at home, you know what I mean, accounting and all that jazz. And
Yeah.
Takes care of the kids. We have a couple children, that's it. And I work and I manage the household.
How often does her mother
financially.
come in around?
I don't mind her mother being a part of our life. I just think the frequency is too high.
Okay, so
I
how many
come home
times a
from
week?
work.
What is the max amount of times a
Um,
month?
a month, I would say a week, maybe like once or I would say anywhere between 2 to 3 times a week. I wouldn't mind
That's pretty
seeing her.
frequent.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
We're
sounds like
Italian,
someone
so it's like the family is like a big part, I guess.
is her mother Christian?
Used to be, but not in a way that, I know how you're asking it, not in that way. No. She was just like going through a phase. She doesn't give a shit about religion.
Are you religious?
I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I do 100% believe in God, yeah.
And what is your girl? Does your girl believe in God?
She's just like me, but maybe a little less in that belief. I think that's where, I've dated a few women, and for whoever's listening, from my experience, always look at the parents of the girl you're dating. If they're not together, if they've had divorces and shit like that, it always leads to a bad outcome in your relationship because the girl wasn't raised in a household that us men love. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have a mother to your kids. You don't want to have someone who goes to girls' nights out. You know what I mean? On Thursday
Yeah, you want
nights.
to have
And
someone who has recognized or is able to emulate what they've learned growing up because it's natural to them. But this
yeah,
right
like
now,
I would rather date like a 5 out of 10 that's like a homemaker and like loyal and like a good mother than like a 10 out of 10 who wants to live that life. You know what I mean?
all right. Well, this guy's you're about to get blocked, Mr. Gay. So keep up with the yapping. Trying to give some counsel here, but you're just being a dickhead in the chat. Now, when it comes to thanks for the follow, Meld. Thanks for the follow, Meld.
I talked to her brother, by the way. Her
Uh-huh.
brother, I talked to her and I was like, hey, man, look. He's like, hey, is she always around? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, your mom is like always wanting to be in my life. Like, it's getting really annoying. So he talked to her and I noticed the change. Like, she would come over for like 40 minutes and leave. And like when I came home from work, she would like in 10 minutes she would leave immediately, give me my space and shit like that.
Yeah, but this doesn't mean she's not in your girl's ear, right? Because
Yeah.
however long you're gone for, she's gonna be like this is starting to remind me of like
I mean, I
Littlefinger from like
wouldn't.
Game of Thrones or something.
You know, I think about it this way. I mean, I don't want to come in between their relationship because, like, before I knew her, that's her daughter and that's her mother. Like, at a certain point, I was a stranger for the most part of her life. I don't want to be like, oh, you can't talk to your mom anymore. Blah. Like, if
No, that's
you want to
fine.
hang out with her, that's fine.
If her mother is her friend, that's great. You know what I'm saying? It's good that she has at least something. But the thing is, this is why I take a strong stance with it. Because I've had to do that in the past. Here's the thing about leadership. If the woman starts to outsource, you're going to have negative consequence. If the woman
Mhm.
starts to outsource leadership and confide in other people, you're going to have people that are going to be arguing through her.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the Bible talks about how when the husband marries his wife, he's supposed to cleave to his wife and he's supposed to leave his parents. You leave your parents. This doesn't mean you don't respect them. This doesn't mean you don't care about them. This doesn't mean you don't consider them. But there's a clear line. Like in my relationship, there's no one on this planet. There's no one on this planet more important than my wife. If that means I'm going to be at odds with my siblings, my mother, my father, so be it. That is the line I will draw. So if it's my wife or them, whether it's where they want to go or what they want to do, no. If I have to choose, you get what I'm saying? There's a clear line. So if you're not secure of that, if you're not sure about that clear line, if you can't start to draw that boundary and bring that boundary up, start talking about it about building that boundary up, then it's going to be, you're going to regret it.
Yeah. I agree with you, but I've realized in my life, I don't know how what you would say to this, but I don't put anyone above myself. I'm the most important. That's how I think about my life. Because, like, even when it comes to my own parents and her and all that, I'm way more important than everybody else. And then, like, second, I would say just out of love and loyalty, I would say my parents for now. But I mean, I'm not married to her, so I don't. Um, because like we live in a day and age, man. Like I could be at work and she could be on Tinder, messaging guys, and God knows, 5 years, 10 years down the line, I go on a vacation or some business trip, and she brings Tyrone around the back door. You know what I mean? You never know. Nowadays, it's everywhere, man. Women nowadays, women. I've realized women are just not what as a child I thought about. Now that I'm an adult, I see them. They're more disgusting than men. Most women, I would say 90% of women are very promiscuous and two-faced and disgusting.
Well, I can understand, especially nowadays, due to this word right here, feminism. Women have definitely gone off the rails as far as behavior, promiscuity, and not wanting a leader. Basically, not having any accountability, being unruly. I will agree with you there. Is that the type of woman you see in the girl you're dating? I would think not, right?
I would say not, but I've dated a handful of girls, and I see a little bit in every girl. I think like in today's society, even if she has a strong father, it still creeps in a little bit. You can kind of see it in their personality and the way they talk and move
Are you
and
talking about being
tone.
conniving or evil
Just
slant?
like, yeah, well, um, it's like being kind of an airhead.
Oh,
Like I find it
airheads.
kind of airhead and just kind of promiscuous and like so what? Like
Okay,
Becky
well,
went.
perhaps you
Becky
need to
did
deal
the.
with some other. The women that I've decided to see long term, it was because I didn't see that in them. So once, hopefully, you found that in this chick you're dating now, that she wasn't like that.
She isn't for the most part, but I haven't met one girl where like like I've had a conversation with that, or we went on dates that I just like found her so unintelligent. Like I've
But
never met
don't
an
expect
intelligent
women to
woman.
be intelligent in that way because they process things through their emotions. And here's another thing: you're never going to escape on a balance of probability women who are going to doubt your leadership. They're going to do that through their emotions. It'll be a
Say that
consequence
one
of
more
that.
time.
There's always going to be a woman, regardless of how submissive she is up front. She's going to use her emotions to try and steer the relationship and try and lead
Yeah.
how she wants things to go. You cannot escape that. But
hmm
what I would recommend then, if you want to continue this, is you're going to need to. Are there any boundaries or any goals or anything that you might that you might think she would be upset with that you truly believe that you want to do? Okay, let's say you want to move somewhere, or let's just say,
Yeah. I want to move. I want to move. Like I would say 5-6 hours away. Ultimately, like within a couple of years. I don't want to stay in this town.
yeah. So
And
why
she's
not?
opposed to that.
Okay, well that's not. If you're the man, is that how you believe? Do you believe as a man you lead and the woman follows?
100%. But
All right.
like,
So then, if that's the case, then you need to start acting like it, and this would be one of those things. Is there a way you can move sooner? If you're serious about this, if you're serious about trying to see if she's that type of woman,
I mean, I can move a little sooner. Yeah.
is it going to be before you marry?
Yes.
Well, then do that. Let's see how she reacts. Because if you're trying to be convinced that she's the type of person to follow your lead, this will be an exact way. If she's submitting when it's not convenient for her, this is what I'm talking about. Is there any things that you want to do that is going to make her submit even though it's not convenient for her? Not to spite,
Mm-mm.
not out of spite her, not for the sake of testing, but
No.
outside of the moving.
Nope. Nothing.
Have you talked to her about the frequency or the type of relationship dynamic you have with? Well, this is another thing you can do. This is what you should do. You should be explaining to this girl that she should not be talking about bedside manner or whatever with her mom and you, regarding you and her.
hmm
Have you brought that up to her yet?
I have.
Has it continued?
Yes.
It's not looking good, man. This is blatant disrespect. And
Yep.
we can understand why she does it because she wants to have a lifeline. She wants to, maybe she doesn't trust you or your leadership, or maybe she doesn't respect you or your leadership. This is not submissive qualities in a woman.
No.
So my recommendation is to really realistically, what is this chick like out of 10? All that she is out of 10. What is she?
Out of 10, she's like on a good day, I would say she's like at least an 8.
And
If she dolls up, she's an 8. But on a regular basis, she's probably like 6.5, 7.
are you usually attract 6.5, 7s and 8s and when they doll up a little bit
I
higher?
attract, yeah, I attract anywhere 6 to 8s like butter, and then like the 10s, it's kind of hard because man, it's so much
They come with a
competition.
lot
But
of
like,
problems too.
yeah. I mean,
Competition being
I've
one.
never dated a 10. Always 7s and 8s.
Okay. So how long has it been? Have you guys been together?
2.5.
Is that on and off or in total?
Sort of on and off in the beginning, yeah.
So more than 2.5?
Yeah. No, 2.5. Since I've known her, yeah. Briefly, like a week of breaking up and shit.
What's keeping you from leaving?
That's a good question.
Take out the sex.
I don't want to hurt her. Seems like it's gonna hurt her.
Well, if you don't do you believe you have what it takes to lead her in marriage and that you can feel peace knowing that she'll follow?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she'll follow, but I can. I mean, I can lead.
What's the point of leading without someone following you? What's the point? Well, Is that what you want to go? Do you want to? Okay, so you're gonna have a hard day at work. Do you want to come home to what her mom said about you? And why come you can't do this? Because my mama said
See,
X.
no, it's not really that. It's more like coming home from a long days at work or a long day at work, and then her mom is at the fucking house, like sitting on the fucking couch. And I'm like, dude,
Dude,
get the fuck out of
do you
here.
want to be? Do you want to? Okay, 5 years into your marriage, this is going to be your potential reality. Are you okay with that?
Not at all.
All right. Well, that's
Not
that right there
1
is your
second.
answer. Because to some women or to some men, this flaw, this might be something that, because we're all compatible with one person, we're also compatible with their flaws. Like I tend to be messy. My wife is like on top of all the cleaning and all that stuff. We complement each other. But where she has weaknesses, I make up for it, and I'm okay with that. I have grace for it. Like it doesn't like it doesn't. It's not a drag. It doesn't give me anxiety or makes me feel like a existential like like this dread. But that to you, the question I just asked you, that is another thing against this relationship. Because on a balance of probabilities, if nothing changes about each other, because change is going to be very, very difficult, this is likely going to happen. So,
Yeah.
thanks for the likes, whoever's blasting the likes. Does that make sense, man?
100%. Yeah, I was, at this point, sometimes I think, man, she's 74. I put up with this shit another 5 years and she's gone. For real.
Yeah, but come on, where's the account? That's a powerless situation. You're gonna wait for Father Time to take her away?
Because, like, the only thing is, like, the first year of our relationship, like, I was always at their house. Always.
Yeah, but
So
you're
it's like,
entitled. You're entitled to how you feel and what's compatible to you.
that's true.
And perhaps here's the thing: why not look? I know this is perhaps negative, but she could find somebody who doesn't have a problem with that, or is more family woven, and that doesn't really bother them. But
I mean, let me ask you this. You seem like, you seem like a guy who knows what would you be okay with your wife's mom at your house? Like, you wake up in the morning, you haven't even showered, she's knocking at the door trying to come in. You come home from work and she's at your house. Like, are you okay with that?
no,
How
not
would
at
you
all.
handle that? What would you
I
tell
would
your wife or
say
would you tell the mom?
I'm gonna tell somebody. It don't. I mean, I'm gonna be graceful. I'm gonna tell my wife, look, mom can't be coming over here every damn week. You know, um, once, twice a month, that's cool. But every damn week, nah. Because I know
Every
how
damn
mothers
day.
are. Mothers are like flies in the wall. They soak up all the information, and best believe they're not the only. Like, I know how my mom is. I know how a lot of moms are. Like, you don't want it, dude. I was that bro.
Yeah, but what if she doesn't? I mean, she'll ultimately say okay, but she fights it. You know what I mean? And then, like, 3 months down the road, it just becomes blurry, and then we're back to square one.
Yeah, but
And
that's
then you
because
have to, like,
that's because she doesn't respect the decision. She's challenging your say on the matter. She doesn't respect you in that way. This is another way you can gauge that. So I know it's important to her, but if a woman really loves you, I've experienced this. Maybe it's people in the chat. If a woman really loves you, she will move to Mars with you.
yes, that's true.
She will call off
I've
sick days
experienced
for
that.
you.
I've experienced that.
She'll even if she ain't got the sick days. So
Yep.
this woman doesn't really sound like a ride or die. She kind of sounds like there's someone who's attached, but likes to challenge your leadership. So
Yeah. I guess, like, when you ask me why don't I leave her, it's like she's a part of my life. It's like kind of hard to end it. You know what I mean? It's not really anything to do with, like, let's just put the whole love thing to the side. It's more like an attachment, like you just said.
well, I believe we become tied to each other spiritually, especially when we get to grow with somebody and then we F somebody. You start to model husbandry and wifehood towards each other. So being considerate, thoughtful, protecting, trying to assert some type of leadership or guidance on her. This is something obviously I'm thinking you do, right, to her.
Mhm.
And to her, she's going to try and be supplicative or submissive or nurturing towards you and thoughtful. So this is the glue. This is how it starts, especially when you guys start being physically intimate. It's just a consequence of having sex outside of marriage in reality. You know what I mean?
So if you were in my shoes, you would tell your wife, "Hey, your mom can't." You wouldn't tell the mom. I was thinking about pulling her mom like one of these days aside and be like, "Listen, I mean, with all due respect, you just can't come here all the time. You want to see your daughter, that's fine. But like, I need comfort too. I don't want to feel like a guest in my own house."
Yeah, but that is because the real leadership is not basically making the mom feel unwelcome. It's having the daughter draw the boundary instead fast. If she truly cares about you and respects you, that's the true call, because you can't really know. You can't really know if you can't really know if your wife respects you or your girl respects you if you make her do it. And it's really easy to make someone feel like they're unwelcome, right? It's really easy to make somebody do that. Like you could tell your mom, like you start rolling your eyes when she comes around.
Yeah,
You say, "I
she
don't want
doesn't
you
take the
here."
hint, bro.
Then she'll take the hint, but that's a band-aid. That's treating the symptom. The real problem here is not that. That's not the problem.
Right.
That's a symptom. The root of the sickness is a lack of respect between you and your girl.
Right. I agree.
And that needs to be rectified if you want to stay with this chick. But I would
Man,
recommend
I'll be honest with you.
just
I'll be honest with you. I'm still young enough where I can just do my own thing, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. Most likely, pretty soon. Yeah.
I hear you,
And
man.
my advice, and I'll drop after this, but my advice is this to anyone all the guys: don't ever date a girl whose parents are divorced. That's a recipe for disaster. Thanks for your time, bro.
All right, Cigari, right? Is that how you pronounce it? The Cigari, thanks for coming up. You're welcome back. I'm looking forward to an update. Yeah, it is unfortunate that the relationship is likely going to end because of that. But if you're looking for a follower, that's what you need to demand. Rimjime.
Yeah, hello.
What's going on?
I was just scrolling around and I jumped into this live. What's
All
happening?
right, what's your age, man?
I am 30.
You're 30? All right. Let me just address some of the comments here, and then we can get right back to it.
Let's do it.
Did he say transgender? When did I say that?
Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Cali. I mean, high divorce rates
nice.
out there, so I don't know what likely that is.
Divorce rate.
Can you ban this corny ass nigga? He really thinks he's some comedian. Who needs to be banned? Do I need to block somebody from that chat? I haven't seen anyone say a corny joke yet. Fellas, leave cis women in the past. Start dating. Yeah, that's the joke right there. Anyways,
So I wanted to.
Oh,
come
it's
out
this guy.
and
Yeah,
talk
you
a
are
little bit
getting-
about your
Hey,
title. It says
20s. Quit spamming, or you're gonna get the damn boot.
Feminist.
All right, yeah. What questions do you have?
Tell me, what makes you be bold enough to write anti-feminist? I get if you're not a feminist. I get that. But to say anti-feminist, that you're completely opposite to
Yeah, I'm
that.
against feminism. I'm against egalitarianism. I promote patriarchy. And in the context of dating, I give advice that's for men leading, women following. Patriarchal norms, gender roles. These are the type of things that would make feminists take issue. And it would be of no use for me to give advice from such a person. So it has a way of filtering out people and encouraging debate and discussion. You know what I mean?
Sure, you kind of have a dogma, right? Pretty dogmatic statement there. I understand that.
Dogma
does
is more
it-
just ideologically opposed.
Yeah, it's your ideology. How does feminism make the world stink? What does feminism do that's bothering you?
Okay. I'll answer that. Bison. Bishan? How do you pronounce your
Hello.
name? How do you pronounce your name?
Abyssion.
Abyssian.
Yeah,
All right.
lobster.
Thanks for coming
mouse
on.
on a
What's
field.
your age, Abyssian?
19 April 21st, 2007.
All right, thanks. So Rimjam, I forgot yours. Can you tell me your age one more time?
30.
All right, thanks. So to answer your question about what grinds my gears about feminism, well, at this current moment, I see here on TikTok and academically, newspapers, schools, pathologizing men. If a man says he doesn't want a woman with a high body count, or if he wants a woman with that's young and fertile, this is somehow toxic. So right now they're trying to shame men for what I would argue are just biological incentives. And if that's the case, then this would be misandry in its effect. Where's my wife
Some
at?
biological
She's retired.
standards are still taboo.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, just real quickly, some biological standards, like you say, are still taboo. Like, for example, like when women first become fertile at like 13, that doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, we have norms around certain behaviors. It's not just about natural proclivities. But would you say it'd be a good idea to have women forego their most fertile years to chase if it meant that there's going to lead to a birth rate decline, would it be a good idea to encourage women to forego their fertile years for education? Yes or no?
I don't know if encouraging either side to do what and what would be a good idea.
So we
Your
shouldn't
main
encourage anybody to
complaint
do
is
anything.
that your main complaint is that men are being shamed for wanting to go after younger women. That's what you're talking about, right? But what does that have to do with anti-feminism or feminism? What does that have anything to do with feminism?
This would make me an anti-feminist because the feminists in a pursuit to have egalitarianism, not just politically but in culture, this would make me against feminism. This would be I would be an obstacle, and I'm glad to be.
But the topic is anti-feminist. You have a really bold, very bold statement up there. I get it. You don't like, being shamed for wanting to go and date younger women. That's
It's
understandable.
not me personally. It's collectively. I see it as a bad idea for society. It's not a personal. It's not just personal. It's also societally, has a societal negative impact.
Let's talk about the roles.
So does it have a societal? Does it have a negative impact if there's a lot of men who have traditional roles and they're being shamed for them in dating? Does it have a negative impact on dating? Yes or no?
Repeat that one more time. Sorry.
If there are a lot of men who have traditional standards that they hold and feel about in the dating market, and feminists are currently shaming those men, trying to ridicule them and outcast them, is that going to have a negative impact on the dating market?
It depends on the time.
What time?
It really
A
depends.
lot of those would be
Like-
misandrous, not feminists. The point of feminism and equality is the choice. Like, it's not inherent. Like, okay, it is a taboo because young women, I assume you mean 18, they still haven't fully developed their frontal lobe. They're young,
Okay,
It's-
so it's not about forcing anyone. Is that what you're saying? It's about choice.
Yeah, choice. It's not
I
like
that.
wrong.
What was your name? A bison? I like that.
Okay,
Yes, young,
so
yeah, thank
where
you,
in
thank you.
feminism is choice explained? Where in its definition?
Well, equality for everyone to have the same opportunities. Like, okay, I'm not Google. I'm not gonna, like, I don't know the exact Oxford Dictionary definition off the top of my head, but yeah, feminism is about equality and equal opportunities and choices.
Okay, so if women want to sleep around through the principles of sexual liberation, why is it toxic if men want to discard them and never want to marry them? Why is that wrong? If you're given an equal opportunity, why is
That's
that wrong?
subjective. It's subjective. Wrong or right
Yeah,
is subjective.
Very
And
subjective.
if women are shaming men who do that, that's a subjective thing. It has nothing to do with feminism or
It
anti-feminism.
has
You're
nothing to
saying
do
that
with
the
feminism. Here's
culture
how
that
it's
surrounds.
related.
You're saying that the
Well, I'll
culture
let you
that
land your plane.
surrounds
Go ahead.
feminism is what caused this, but it's not.
Okay.
Everyone has a choice.
So feminism, to define it, is the promotion or is the movement of egalitarianism away from the patriarchy.
You're throwing out words.
Is it or
you
is
know,
it not the definition?
and
I'm
it
throwing out
doesn't
words. Do you know what the
justify
definition is? What is the definition?
of what? Of
Feminism.
definition? You want me to search up on Google? What is the
Well, we can just
definition?
come to an
Feminism?
agreement. I mean, if you don't know it off the top of the dome, let's just come to an agreement on the definition. It's fine.
I went to MIT for engineering. I don't have to give you definitions. All right.
You don't have to give
And
me definitions, and we can't agree on terms. We can't build an argument. There's no point having a discussion.
Tell me the definition of what feminism is.
Yeah, as I was just explaining, the movement of egalitarianism amongst the sexes with the movement away from the patriarchy. Do
You really wanna be
Do
a
you
lead-
agree with the definition?
That's a good definition. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I'm not understanding how the definition.
We're talking about definitions.
All right, dude. Perhaps you can come back up when you have like. I get you're at MIT. Maybe you do sciences, but perhaps you want to look into like.
You want me to search up what?
I want okay.
Feminism is
If
on my
we
phone?
can't have a definition. We can't have a conversation forward. So, at this point, that's as much as I can do for you, man. This is like debate 101.
Hey, well, I mean, listen. I hope you become a great leader in your marriage and everything works out fine for you. The goal is to find a good partner for yourself. And to discourage feminism is it's just not right, dude.
All right, I
Feminism
encourage you to
fits
find. I
your
encourage you to
ideals
find
too.
definitions in order for you to have discussions, or else there's literally no point in talking. We'll
You're
just be
stuck
talking
on the
past each other.
definitions, right?
So you have a good rest of your day, man. So, anyways, you agree with the definition, correct?
Yeah, and I do want to just say feminism does benefit what you want too, because again, like what I said about choice, I mean, there's still gonna be like, I guess, more traditional women and traditional men. It's about choice. There's still gonna be those, and you're still gonna have that. It's about the choice of going in either two directions.
So, I find it funny how feminists will argue on one hand that they want equality, but on the other hand that they want to encourage choice. I find that this is not true because you can't really reconcile them, especially when you're trying to regulate. If you're trying to regulate the market, that means you're actively trying to influence people from choosing one way against the other. So the pressure, the psychological pressure that you're going to put onto one gender in favor of another, you can call that choice, but the feminists, they might call that coercion. They might call that toxic or rigid by their own standards. So if, let's just say, I want to have a social enforcement on body count, and I want to just have like my culture just shame women who do that and men, and just say women or men who do that, just ruining their chances in dating. If I wanted to have that mechanism, I would be socially enforcing that. So when you guys say choice, in reality is you're free to choose, you're more free to choose choices that benefit the egalitarianism, and you're less free to choose things that benefit the patriarchy. Because a feminist would be less likely to hire a man who promotes such ideals as me. A feminist would be less likely to associate. So it's not necessarily about choice. It's really about the goal that you want, which is egalitarianism. Anything that gets in the way of that, i.e. the patriarchy, any patriarchal norms or cultures that stand against that, they're going to shame, they're going to deplatform, they're going to try and get me flagged as they normally do here on TikTok. This is it's not necessarily choice.
Right. So shaming women is bad. Shaming people for morally neutral things is bad. Jeez, how do I even explain this? Okay, so it is about choice because again, it still reinforces your side of it. Like when people shame you for wanting, I don't know, low body count women. Personally, for me, I don't care. For you, you do. There's two sides. The people who shame you for that, they call themselves feminists, but they are misandrists. But I do see their point where they're coming from because, again, like for most of history, I mean, if you look at Jesus Christ, marriage, I mean, people would marry virgins. It was less about love, it was more like transactions between families. People would marry virgins. It's a patriarchal thing, virginity and like low body counts. But like if you want that, if that's a personal choice, that's fine, but it still has this social construct behind it that we have kind of brought up from religion and like like
Biological
centuries old
necessity.
like expectations.
Biological necessity. Ensuring paternity was only the social or the technology of ensuring paternity only happened in 1980s with the DNA testing. For thousands upon thousands, or however, if you're an evolutionary person, for even longer, men have had to ensure paternity by one way, which is virginity. So it's not just a social construction; it's tied to biological incentives. It's not something as flippant or arbitrary as some religion or society made it up.
That isn't true. I mean, I don't know your religion, but like as you said, I guess I'm an evolutionist. But if you look at like cave people, like they didn't have these kinds of roles. There wasn't even like sexuality really. They
Are you
hunted
talking
in
about
groups,
cavemen as
both
in?
women and
So
men.
let's just relegate it to humans here, because I can't speak on a caveman. I never met one. I can only speak on humans here. Let's have a human conversation. We're just talking about thousands of years. Let's just talk about thousands of years of human civilization. Can we talk
Yeah,
about
but
that, or do you want to have a
that's
conversation before that?
that's my point. We have made this like stipulation and expectation because there was a time before where that didn't exist.
Okay, there's a time before a lot of stuff doesn't exist. That doesn't mean it's good or bad. I'm not understanding your argument. Thanks for the fairy. Thanks for the heart.
My point is that we have made this, and it was from mostly religion.
You're incorrect again. So did cavemen make religion? Yes or no?
No, that's not my
Humans,
point.
is it modern? Is it more modern than that? Like less
More
ancient than cavemen?
modern, yes.
Okay, so you want to talk about humans or you want to talk about cavemen?
Well, I'm bringing in cavemen because they are
You brought up religion,
human
though.
and they are relevant.
They're not relevant for the topic of this discussion. We're talking about human behavior, not caveman behavior. Explain to me how it's relevant. Because you even just said the cavemen didn't make religion, and you're tying the social construction to religion that cavemen didn't make. So explain to me how that's relevant.
Okay, so again, my point is that we have created this, and cavemen are relevant because it proves that there was a time before, so therefore we created it.
So what is your evidence that because cavemen didn't make it, therefore we could go back to how the cavemen were?
No, that is not my point. My point is that we created it, and it's not exactly modern, right? Like if oh my god, if you're saying that like just because it's like what we were originally as, therefore it's good. I mean, you can apply that to most of history, and that'll be wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't you straw manning the argument. So I went back to biology. So so you mean to tell me?
Yeah, biology.
So do you think
that's
most?
why I
So
actually
let's go
brought
back.
up
I'll just ask some
cavemen.
questions. We're not getting anywhere. Do you think most men want to sire someone else's kid? Most men around you, most men that you can see, men in general. Do you think men in general want to sire someone else's kid? They don't know about it.
No, I'd argue that's because of modern social expectations.
All right, where's your evidence of that?
I don't have a link in my
I'm not
clipboard that
asking
I
for
could
a
provide.
source. I'm just asking for any evidence, anything that we can observe and see. What evidence makes you think that?
Well, to be honest, I can't give you anything because I wouldn't be the right person to talk about that.
All right. So the reason why it's important is because I'm giving you evidence to the contrary biological incentives, how men generally think about things, if you can agree that men would generally not want to. You saying it is a social construction without evidence, it can be just rejected on its face. The evidence I have against what you're saying, your assertion, is that men care about themselves. Is that a biological construction? Probably not. Men care about surviving. Most humans have a self-centered incentive structure to eat food, to survive into the future. We mostly have a in-group preference. Is this socially constructed? I don't think so. Most cultures
No,
tend to act
we
like
do
this
have
outside of,
biological differences.
well, in-group preferences, but it would speak to perhaps us and them, the outsider. So we're talking about, but going back to the individual level, if you care, if you're spending time with someone and you inseminate them, if you find out that's not your kid, what social construction is preventing you from being upset? I don't understand. You mean to tell me it's because of social construction that I'm going to be upset that someone else, I thought the kid was mine, it's not? That's a social construction?
I'd be upset because that would imply that said partner would have cheated on me.
Who socially constructed you to think that way?
No one. I mean, I get what you mean by like in-group preferences. I mean, again, I know I'm bringing up cavemen, but like, for example, yeah, women would like usually, keep the children around. There are biological, like, you know what I mean. I don't have the word for it. English isn't my first language.
Biological what?
Well, my point was like, yeah, I agree. Like, we have differences that are like preference, like kind of like preferences, like.
Yeah, but I'm not talking
like,
about I'm not talking about any I'm not talking about any variation in diversity here, from black or mongoloid to negroid to caucasoid. I'm talking about most men generally share this thing. If somebody they thought their kid was not their kid, they're gonna be upset. I don't think you need a religion or a
yeah.
So this
I
would show
to
you.
assume that's because that would again imply that that partner would have cheated on them, and that also applies to women.
Yes, but the difference between men and women is biological in this example. I'll explain in a sec. Chaotic, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, women do not need to know who's their kid because it pops out of their uterus. Because by virtue of them having a uterus, they are protected from this literal uncertainty. This is the biological difference. The man does not know. That's why he has to try and ensure paternity, because he's not certain about it. The woman is certain about her maternity. This is why it's important. I'm explaining to you the biological difference and why a man would have this incentive outside of a social construction. Therefore, disproving what you're explaining about how, it's just social construction, why men care about loyalty or making sure that they're gauging for a woman's sexual history. This is the mechanism. I'm explaining to you the biological mechanism, that of which you had no evidence against. So the reason why I bring that up is because, once again, if that's true, biological traits are inherently shamed by women. You can say these are just misandrous. I'm just saying it's a function, not a bug. It is a feature of feminism, because feminism must insist on eliminating all hierarchies. If you're going to do that, any trait that is inherent to men or women, they're not going to like. So it's a feature of feminism to be misandrous in this way. If I'm inherently shamed for who I am as a person, this sounds like something your average leftist would poo-poo on. They would disagree with. This might be racist, sexist, based on the color of my skin, my sex, or my gender. This is, by their own very metric, bigoted.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't align. I mean, I completely agree with you on that. But legislatively, that like they should. Oh my god.
Legislatively.
Women and men. Sorry.
Legislatively, I'm following you.
Oh, yeah, they should still have the same opportunities legally, socially. Like, yeah, they don't align, but that doesn't mean that one is worth more than the other, or one should have more choices, more opportunities.
So, a woman, by virtue of her sleeping around with many men, the descriptive effect is she's going to have less partners in dating. We can speak here in the West. Hell, in other countries is even that are more conservatives, like in Iran or freaking in the Middle East. That's even more so the case. But for structures that are based off of religion and conservatism and tradition, they're going to be even more wary of women like that. This is just descriptively true. That's why the
I'm
feminists
sorry,
for the past 50, 60
sleeping
years have had a
around
problem.
with loads of
Feminists,
partners means
real
you have
quick,
less
feminism,
partners.
you're going to have a less likelihood of finding a man that wants to marry you. This is why feminists have constantly cried about this for the past 70 to 80 years. They view it as a obstacle to their egalitarianism. Perhaps you want to speak. Perhaps you want to read some feminists on this very topic, man. No, they're just incorrect about calling it a social construction, but they still acknowledge it as a reality. So let me just.
It is a reality, slightly biologically, but we also created that reality. That's why I said it's a social construction.
Okay, so who created? Well, you couldn't answer that question when I asked you. Who created that feeling in you to be upset that the child is not yours? Who created that feeling?
But it's not about the child not being mine. It's about the fact that, like, okay, I'm not exactly monogamous, but like, still, like, when I trust someone and I expect them to be, you know,
Yeah, I
like a
understand the
two-person
betrayal.
deal,
You
me
thought
and
it was
them,
love.
it's
You thought it
betrayal.
was
Yeah.
in between you and her. You thought, okay, who had to teach you how you're feeling? Who taught you that? Oh, you're feeling wrong. This is something you instinctually feel. I'm explaining to you
But
that
it's an
women could
instinct
never.
based on the child, on the reproductive aspect. I'm talking about an emotional connection that has been broken.
The child is relevant to the conversation, and without the child being there, you wouldn't have felt that. I'm explaining to you a scenario where
Exactly.
biology makes you exclusively feeling this thing, whereas women don't ever have to feel this. I thought that kid was mine, unless of course
Yeah.
she was in unless of course she was in the hospital and they swap incubators or something. Other than that, 99.99999% of women can never ever ever feel like this by virtue of them having a uterus. I'm explaining to you a dimorphic behavior around this feeling.
That's some statistic. Are you implying that women don't feel betrayed?
That's
Or
basic
I'm
human
implying
anatomy.
to you
What
that
are we talking about?
like I just said, paternity certainty, women do not generally ever have to feel this. Maternity certainty, because they know what comes out of their womb, they are not going to be deceived in this way. I'm explaining to you an exclusive way men can be deceived that separates them from women by virtue of their sexual organs. I'm explaining to you that. So
yeah, they don't
go ahead.
feel that
Can
because
I
they have a
ask you a
uterus,
question?
and then that doesn't happen.
420, you're up.
What's up, James? It's nice to see you again.
You too, man.
I was gonna ask you, as long to what he was saying. Um, I just lost my train of thought reading a comment. Jesus Christ.
That's all right.
Never mind. Skip past me. Get it here.
Well, let me try and jog your memory. We were just talking about how there is a exclusive feeling that men feel because they have a genitalia that's male, compared to how women can never feel this because she doesn't need to ensure paternity certainty.
Mhm.
And then maybe that jogs your memory, maybe not.
Yeah. Do you feel that it should be mandatory for there to be paternity tests at the birth of the child, regardless of marital status of the couple or mother?
I personally don't think so, but if the majority voted on it and it passed, I wouldn't be mad at it per se. But I wouldn't be mad at it per se. It would
That's
mitigate
something I
that
advocate
feeling.
for personally.
It would mitigate a part of that feeling.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I wouldn't personally support it, but if it got voted on and it passed, I mean, I think it would benefit.
Agreed.
Let's see. That part is social. What part is social? I was raised and educated better than the scared host. All right. Well, does your education give you any evidence to the contrary of what I argued at this moment? 'Cause otherwise, you're just sniping. Memento. That just smash and dash. That's out of context, I would assume. But doesn't have to necessarily be like. It doesn't have to be like that. What things should or should not be is not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing what is, and me and the gentleman here are just coming to an observation on agreeing about what is. Salem, I was okay. I think I read that. Ferry, good to see you again. My man, Ferry, slaying him in the chat. Thanks for sharing the live, whoever did. Appreciate the likes, guys. We're already at 7,000. Let's see. Check on the YouTube side. All right, whoever's watching on the YouTube side, I will allow your questions to derail the panel. So be aware of that. Your questions take prio. Chaotic, thanks for sharing.
Mhm.
Still, no biological process for that's not my kid. All right, what's your argument? What is your argument?
Are they really trying to argue natural human emotion right now?
Well, here's the thing about leftism and Marxism, which are basically very closely related to feminism. They always insist on trying to change human nature. They insist on it.
I've noticed.
They don't like human nature. They don't like incentive structures. They don't like common human behaviors. They want to change them. It's the pot.
I mean, then I would say go be the change that you want to see in your own life and like stay out of mine. You know what I mean?
fucking do that?
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh,
I would agree.
And stay out of like my kids' business, my marriage, and you know all of the other things that they like to butt into
Well,
that
they
they're
can't
not
allow
interested
that.
in.
That's why they're trying to. I mean, you look at the last Toy Story. Freaking genders were swapped in the damn marriage, basically. They can't help themselves. They have to force their
yeah.
morality while arguing about us doing the same.
I have a hot take on that because I
Almost
get a
like
lot of heat
diversity
from
being encouraged.
on my opinion in the spaces that I'm in.
Hello,
Hello, you. What is your age? You.
19.
All right, thanks for coming up. Chaotic, what is your hot take on that?
I
You need to
actually,
be
if it's
anti-Jewish.
what?
You need to be anti-Jewish.
All right, Zionism stuff. You're ready.
No, anti-Jewish.
Wait, I got rid
Don't
of the
let me
wrong
get my
person.
hot take.
Abyssian? Was that you?
I am here, yes.
Oh, okay, I was wrong. You. I'm not trying to talk about the small hat stuff right now. Peace, Scott. What is your age, Scott?
Hello.
Hello, Scott.
I would like to say something about the prompt.
All right, go ahead.
Dating a feminist is like signing up for nothing other than torture, and it is not a good idea. So, any men listening to this, don't do that.
Plain advice, plain and simple.
It was plain, direct, to the point, and 100% truthful.
Agreed, because she's likely to abort your child if you want it, and she doesn't. Might as well sign that kid's obituary.
Yeah, but right now, I think the stat is about 68% of women do that. Like have those views. I think that was the last poll. I stay up on it, so I'm always curious.
Yeah, feminism is definitely a scourge right now. Keem, what's your age, Keem?
I'm 18, bro. Fire waves. I'm fucking with the hair. Yo,
Appreciate it.
why'd you kick me yesterday, bro?
You weren't on.
And
I wasn't on yesterday. That was Sunday. What
I
happened?
promise you. Oh wait, yeah, maybe it was Sunday. I
Why did
don't
I
know.
kick
I was taking a bath with my rubber ducky.
Yeah, bro, because you in the
Kicked me.
you blowing bubbles in the damn panel. That's why.
Bro, that's cap.
I mean, I get you're comfortable, but at least mute yourself. What you got to say today? What you got to say about the prompt?
Yeah, I wouldn't date no feminist. That's just me though.
Would you want your son dating a feminist?
Absolutely not. I'll disown him.
Hey, my man. See, we're on the same wavelength then.
Yeah, you see, we can agree on something.
Yeah, it's not in the damn bathtub. I definitely do agree that some women take it to the extreme. That doesn't mean that's what it's about. Well, emoji, I would say to you, it seems to me that feminists they don't want to make themselves subject to the draft. They don't want to make themselves pay the same amount or have similar custody or any equity in child court, family courts. They don't want to have any. They don't want to have any equality when it benefits them. So, but they definitely do want to. They definitely do want to flatten all patriarchal norms that benefit men, and still benefit them from them at the same time. Do you think there's any feminist thing that women fought at their own? Like, is there like a right or privilege that they gave up in order to make themselves on equal playing fields with men? Abyssian?
Not that I can think of.
Wait, repeat the question.
Is there any privilege or right that women gave up in pursuit of making themselves equal to men?
I mean,
I know the answer to that.
in
Just
in
so
this
you know.
in this, like, I guess, patriarchal worldview that we had like years ago, I guess, yeah, like, you know, they didn't have the same rights, and yeah, they were at home, but I mean, I'd probably like that, can I?
Okay, well, I mean, men are still subject to the draft, women are not, so we don't have the same right. In order to
Yeah,
vote,
not
I
yet.
have to sign up for selective service. So women don't have to do that. We don't have the same rights here, even to this day, and women benefit from that.
I agree.
Scott, what were you gonna
Yo,
say?
I was gonna say no. It's an easy question.
Yeah, I believe it or not, Abyssian, a lot of women, more than you would think, were against women's suffrage. That's kind of
Some people aren't with like reality of situations which they're trying to make norm, and they're not.
What do you think is the best thing, Abyssian, that feminism has done for dating?
Dating, I mean, personally, like, it's just, I mean, I'm young, you know, like.
You said you're 19 or how old?
Yeah, 19.
Okay.
Like, I'm not like an established human being, you know, like, I'm not expected to really pay for dates, you know, like, there's just this, like, I'm on the same level. There's no difference. I'm not supposed to like change to kind of warp around so I can put myself in their shoes, because we are in the same shoes. Like, if that makes sense.
Well, that's not true. Women can sleep around with more. Women have way more sexual options than men. Is that not true?
Sorry, sexual what?
At your age, there are 19-year-olds women who are on yachts with men right now as we speak. There are no 19-year-old boys. Well, I mean, if if you're in those files, you might be. But generally speaking, there are no 19-year-olds getting this much access by virtue of having genitals.
No.
Shit, I wish an elderly woman
Not
would take me.
intrinsically, but like, I have two partners. I don't know. I'm happy we're all in this, all in the same boat.
It's why men typically select for partners that aren't promiscuous if they're going to invest into parenting. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but a feminist would say you have a little dick, or you're insecure, or you have internalized misogyny, or you're part
And
of
they're
a
not a
toxic.
feminist, though.
I'm explaining to you that the way that feminists critique things, it starts institutional, and then it becomes cultural. So that has been the effect of their philosophy. Women, a feminist academic will say what he just said is internalized misogyny. So is that extreme? If it comes from the top, is that extreme? All right. So because that is insecurity keeps you safe. Yeah, being wary about certain things and wanting to have less risk in how you deal with people. This is just called being wise. Let's see. Feminists fight so women share the same legal, social, and economic opportunities as men. Yeah, but women don't like those opportunities if it doesn't benefit them. If you want to sleep around and men don't want to date you anymore, or they just want to sleep with you and then toss you to the side of the road and don't want to marry you, you cannot be upset with that. You were given the opportunity to spread your legs, now deal with the consequence. But the thing is, feminists want all of society to subsidize their consequences. That's how feminism works.
You keep generalizing feminists
What am
in
I saying
a
that's not
way
true?
that what? You keep generalizing in a way that all of them, only want equality if they get none of the downsides, but that simply isn't true. There's definitely some feminists that would say you have a little dick because, I don't know, you wanna like you wanna date people like half your age or something, but
Yeah, half my
like
age would
it's
be
not all of them.
that would be under the legal age, so I'm not sure. Straw man, but let's just go with what you're saying.
Yeah, that is a straw man.
When it comes to me generalizing, I'm making a general statement. Are there going to be some reasonable or considerate feminists who hide? I would argue they're hiding their true intent, or they don't understand the actual principles of their own ideology. But are there going to be some feminists that are reasonable and cordial? Yes, I have conversations with them about 10% of the time here on my lives. That doesn't mean the general statement I'm saying is not true. I'm explaining to you a causal link between their philosophy and how it's dispersed throughout the culture. This is just, it starts from them. The academics inform how they want the culture to think. You go into the institution, you learn the terminology, and you market it to the masses. That's how these feminists are acting here on TikTok. That's how they act in the media. But they have papers from whatever pipeline my type of thought leads to internalize this and that. This is how they move. It's not a general, I mean, it's a generalization, correct, but it's not false, is what I'm explaining to you. The stereo, thanks for coming back up.
Yeah. So I actually agree with you. Like, women do go on the attack. Like, they instantly say, oh, you have a tiny, you know what, whatever. One thing I have noticed is guys who, and I don't know what this is, because I'm very conservative. I wouldn't exactly call myself red pill because I consider myself Christ pilled. But the moment I give a little pushback, like I tell men that they need to have control over their lust because sometimes they're attracted to the Jezebel woman because they didn't have control over their lust, they instantly say, see, you're a feminist. And I'm like, how am I a feminist? And then they're like, see, all of you women are just the same. And then they go in on the attacks just the same way that the feminists do. And I tell people that accountability is a societal issue. You might see it more in women, but I also see it in men. And like people want to project and make everything somebody else's problem rather than saying, you know what, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, and I won't disagree. I think I disagree with how you're being characterized just by that statement. I guess it can depend on how it was framed in the context, but generally speaking, men should have more discipline with who they give their attention to. We would have a higher like success rate in marriages and all that, and dating and faithful relationships if men controlled who they give their attention to. So I don't disagree with you on its face. And for you being a feminist or being called that, well, if a pastor says something like that at a pulpit, I don't think that would make him a feminist.
Exactly. And actually, a lot of my views that I get called a feminist for, other men who oppose feminists have said the same thing. It's just, I think some men, and I think it goes into the plummeting T levels and plummeting IQ levels in the United States. I think that there are some struggles with accountability that I'm seeing. And I get a lot of pushback from not just red pill men, but I mean, obviously feminists. Feminists don't like me, but also red pill men as well.
I can see that because the red pill men, they're not really Christ pilled, as you say. So their internal sense of morality is basically in their minds or in their flesh, right? They're their own God, or they worship something else outside or inside themselves. But where I will kind of agree with them is I think there should be a little bit more grace for men, because men are not the ones who are constantly has a carrot over their stick. Men are thirsty. Men generally don't have any much sexual experience or intimacy or romance at all. Romantic affection. We don't just have, it doesn't just have to be sexual attention. It's romantic attention at all. But women are constantly dangling their cheeks, their boobies around, like from women doing
I
it
was just typing shit.
to men, or to men advertising and hiring other women to market to sell a hamburger or a car, to the Hollywood doing it, to the music industry doing it. Like I can't even go to the gym without seeing camel toe or somebody with a intentional wedgie.
Next
Yeah.
question I have for you, James, is what gym are you going to?
I go to 24 Hour Fitness. It's a regular
wow.
box gym.
Yeah, it's bad at my gym too. I will say that, like, as a woman, it makes me uncomfortable because I'm like, if I can see that and you're sitting on the same seat, like I gotta wipe it down. I'm like, this is kind of gross. Like, you guys, like, cut it out.
Now it is in a
yeah,
man's
that's real.
best interest to avert his gaze, but you know, 80% of the time he's going to try, but the other 20% is going to be cheek, like at the corner of the eye or right in front of you. Women are bending over, doing Romanian deadlifts, like looking at people, looking in the mirror for them to look at her, for her to look at them. It's like,
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. The only pushback I will give is I finally started like dating again, and I'm Orthodox. I'm very devout in my religion, and I think a lot of guys think that, oh, well, those women are always going to be there. And what I've noticed in some of these singles groups is all the girls that have a certain look. Like, you know how there's beautiful women, there's cute women, there's like hot girls. The hot girls that are in the Orthodox community get all of the comments and all of that. There are plenty of beautiful women who don't necessarily get the same attention because they're more modest. So it's like there's a contradiction in what the guys are saying that they want and how they're acting. And it's almost like they kind of want to have their cake and eat it too. And they want a traditional woman, but they're not willing to like reach out to the woman. They're like, oh no, she has to reach out. And then I've even had multiple men who reached out to me, and I was having conversations with them, and then they just stopped all contact. And I was the last one to message them. And they tried to say, oh, well, you women don't reciprocate. And I was like, at these specific guys. I was like, if you don't remember correctly, I'll remind you that I sent the last message and you never responded. So I am a little more vocal than the majority of Orthodox women. Most of them tend to
Vocal
be
in what
very like,
way?
just most women, if a man isn't doing right, they're just going to move on and like not say anything. I'm going to say, no, this is what's wrong, or, you know, like this is not okay. Because like these guys will, again, like essentially trying to like call me out in the group saying, well, you women don't put forth effort when
Yeah, but that
they're
sounds
the ones.
gay. Women putting
It
forth
totally
effort.
does. Totally
Okay,
does.
so are these men recovering liberals or something?
No, some of them are ortho bros.
What would their? I strongly doubt that their pastor would or priest would agree with what they're saying.
Well, I encourage that the singles group that I'm in, that we invite some priests, but the person who runs the group said, we don't need priests in here. And I was like, no, I think you do.
All right, so there's two things that are being spoken about here. First is the level of attention, how you think it should be more evenly dispersed among women who have a base level of attraction to the highest. You think there should be equal levels of distribution?
No. I'm just saying that these guys who complain that they're lonely and that they don't have unrealistic expectations are the same ones who are only going after like certain women.
Right. So that may be the case as far as, that may be potentially true as far as, but what type of women are we talking about? This hot ortho chick. What does she look like? She got her cheeks out?
Wait, what? Repeat that?
Does she have her cheeks out?
No. She's still covered, but you know how guys will say, oh, she's cute. Oh, she's pretty. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, she's hot. Like there's a look.
What does that look?
That is, I don't know how to explain it. I would have to see pictures and show them like side by side.
I mean, I can look up hot girl and then I can look up pretty girl. We can see what pops up. So
versus cute. Yeah.
All right. So let me just, let's see. I'm single from Nigeria and I'm looking for a serious relationship with a nice woman. Kingsley, come on up to, type in my name on TikTok. You'll see me. Come on up. Idea to get rid of the biannual time changes and debating it this week in Congress. I'm not so sure, man. Do you think it's a good idea to get the whole daylight savings thing, my friend NASCAR? I'm not so sure. I don't have any knowledge on
daylight savings.
So let me just look up some hot chicks and then some cute chicks. Let me see if there's any difference. Because what I can think of is probably women who are wearing a lot of makeup, maybe, or really good with makeup versus ones who aren't. Cute.
Maybe.
Girl. Cute one.
You should maybe Google cute versus hot versus beautiful. And like, I'm sure someone out there has done it because I've even heard guys talk about how there's cute girls, there's beautiful girls, there's.
Yeah, but that's just a ranking system. Like, okay, cute is above 5. Hot is like, hot is more of like visually appealing. Beautiful is something, it's not just her look, but it can be. Beauty and hot and beauty can be interchangeable, but I think the difference is sensuality, perhaps.
Yes. So I was actually just talking to someone. There's this woman, she's not Orthodox, but she's like, oh, I'm conservative. But women know what they're doing. Women know that they have a smexual energy and they can exude that.
Right.
And even if you are dressed conservative, you can give off like those smexual type vibes. So there are women who naturally just, you know, do that. And I'm not sitting here hating on them, but I'm just going to say that I see a lot of the girls who, it's almost like they're cosplaying conservative, like cosplaying trad wife type material, but I don't know if it's the Jezebel spirit. I don't know like what it is.
Are they being modest?
Yes.
But maybe on the edge. Well, for these type of women, you know, they'll ultimately pay for that if their intent is correct, right? God will chastise them if they are one of his children. And to the men, look, that would be, here's how I'm trying to draw an equivalence. You would be coming up as a man explaining, why are all these women that I want or that I wish kind of gave me more attention are liking the men who are like 6 feet. Like there's this dude, he's like the deacon's son and he's like 6 feet. And it's just like, ah.
You got to blow up the picture. I can't tell which one's what.
Okay, my bad. You're right.
Put it over like your face. Slide it over. Okay, perfect. Right there.
Yeah.
There's Halle Berry's in there.
Yeah, let's take her out. But okay, so these are all women that are marriageable to me. I mean, without makeup, they're probably going to drop like a couple points. But from the right, let's just say, let's just say on average, I think is that Scarlett on the right? Scarlett Johansson?
Yes.
Okay, her without makeup, she's like 7.5. Is that Kim in the middle? Let's just say Kim is like a 6 without the makeup. And this Asian chick is probably like a 6 as well. But these type of, do you agree with this ranking here? Generally?
Yeah, I think they're all pretty much very close in looks ratings, but like cute girls, I don't know if it's they have more of a baby face, they look more innocent, beautiful women.
Why am I getting restricted?
Oh, I hope they don't say it's bullying because that would be ridiculous.
Go to the picture.
It might be some people stalk my stuff and just report any live that I'm on. And I'm sorry if it's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. For everybody in the chat, if we could get some likes up, I mean, we're just having a good faith discussion regarding attraction levels. Heck, we're trying to get this.
And I brought it up, and I'm a woman.
No, it's not your fault. And we're just trying to get Asteria a good old Christian boy. We're just trying to give her some counsel on that. If we can get the likes up, guys, I really appreciate it because I get flagged all the time just for having these type of conversations. I'm not sure why, but I really appreciate it, guys. So back to this because we're gonna continue. Now, women who are wearing a lot of makeup, I would argue, it kind of leads towards a red flag. But women can wear a lot of makeup and then move from cute to beautiful and from beautiful to hot. Or maybe not even cute at all to being cute.
Yeah.
So
true.
My next question is, how are you showing up? Do you believe you are worthy of the attention that you're not getting at this moment?
Oh, I don't know about worthy. Like, I don't have expectations like I think men should. I think I'm just very
not that you're
protective.
entitled, but if you would be practical about yourself.
Here's my thing is I'm overweight, but I don't have a double standard where I wouldn't date a man who was also overweight. The only thing is the guys who have pursued me that are overweight are very sedentary. I have a farm. I literally, when one of my rams unalived, I dragged his almost 300-pound body out to like the back pasture. Like, I'm a strong woman. I'm just overweight. Cool. And so a lot of these guys who are overweight, I was like, there's no way you could be on this homestead or any homestead.
So
and
you
I'm
question their functionality. All right. So that's your, well, then you're just going to have to, you're going to have to drag some more carcasses. you're going to need to shave down.
I know. Well, and I don't want to make an excuse, but I do have a pituitary tumor, which makes my cortisol levels insanely high. And so losing weight is extremely difficult. And then also it causes like seizures and stuff. Damn. So I have like, and it's not all the time. It happens like probably a week every like 2 or 3 months I'll have seizures, but it throws a wrench in my consistency because I'll be like really consistent working out and doing all this stuff hyperactive, and then that happens and I'm just like laid out for a while.
Yeah, basically your condition makes it so that you can't have a consistent regimen because if you go too close to the edge, you're going to experience effects from that. You might even lose your progress. Is that what you're explaining?
It does, yeah. And it would be different if I was in a relationship because then, leaning on each other, maybe like he could meal prep in the week that I'm like not feeling so well. And then, two is better than one always.
But
Like,
where
even,
I hear you, but what is your competition? Is your competition a bit
oh,
heavier or are they
I don't compete. No, a lot of them are, in shape. So with my ex-husband, I buried 4 babies. It took a huge toll on my
oh,
body. So I know that even though like I have these desires for marriage and all that, I know that I'm on the discount rack. Like I'm on the clearance, okay? And I get that, but I'm not going to compete. Either a man
you must.
wants it or
You must. Astera, you must. What is it about competing that you take issue with?
because I think that men go for what they want, and if they don't want me, that I'm not going to be mad about it.
But how would I? Okay, let's just take me in a different universe. I'm out of shape. As you see me talking, you see Cheeto dust. I have a super neck beard. It's a bit maybe a double chin here or there. You see, I have no prospects. And I would
Hmm.
say, I don't want to compete. If a woman really wants me, then she'll want me for me. Would you say that's completely sound advice?
I think that's unrealistic for men. I would say that my circumstance is very niche. Like most people are overweight because they eat out all the time and they don't move their body, right?
Hmm.
Um, I don't think most people are overweight because of medical issues. And I could be wrong. It could be underlying medical issues that they're just not addressing.
Hmm.
But it just makes it really difficult for me. But I mean, I still try. I'm still functional outside of the times that I'm like having seizures and stuff like that and I'm like laid out for some time. I make up for it in all the other times. So my functionality is still there, just looks maybe, beauty's a light switch away. That's what I tell men.
A light switch away. That is funny, but that's a bit too self-deprecating to hear.
Oh, I love that kind of humor. I have a very dark sense of humor. That's another thing.
Yeah, you're right. It's a good joke. But how about this? Have you talked to like what is your specialist? Is it like an endocrinologist or a a oncologist? What type of doctor is this that's really on you, working with you about this stuff?
So
If
I
you don't mind, if you don't
stopped
mind disclosing that,
I
like,
stopped going to doctors because the only thing that they could do about a pituitary tumor is remove it. It's not cancerous or anything like that.
it's
It's
good.
just a
It's great.
pain in the rear. Yeah. Um so the only thing is surgery. And I'm open to it, but it's a lot of money.
Hmm. Now, how certain are you that you're being restricted from being more physically active because of this ailment?
Because it only happens during times of like seizures and stuff. Like whenever it typically happens for about 3 to 7 days, I'll have seizures like back to back. And then the next week or whatever is recovery. I'm just not very good at bouncing back. Like I need like I grew up in a military household and I was so used to like structure doing the same thing all the time, like regular and all of that. And whenever I get like a monkey wrench in my thing, it's hard when I'm doing everything on my own. A lot of my family is trying to encourage me to get rid of my animals because they think that maybe if I focus more so on myself, that would be a little easier. But that would be so heartbreaking to me.
You do have, I mean, you have a lot of well, you wouldn't call them livestock.
Mhm.
What type of animals are we talking about? Chickens, ducks?
I have sheep, goats, chickens, ducks. I wanted to get some cows, but that is not something that I could do by myself.
Well, have you talked to a nutritionist, either a physical therapist or some type of very specialized doctor that or specialist that can work within your context?
I have in the past. I have not in a very long time. Right now I'm trying to do keto again. I've done carnivore, but I have issues with carnivore.
Nutritional, like it messes you up.
Intestinally, it messes me up.
Okay, well
Yeah.
then here's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get at some way where you can have a medical consultant that can see you through along with some type of coach to get you on the path that can be customized towards you getting in shape. You have to. And it's
I
not just
know.
for you, it's for the sake of any kids you might have, it's for any future you want to have with your husband. It's not just about because
I do have a
don't you want to
son.
have like the pinnacle of like a very high what am I trying to explain?
No, I get what you're saying. Like everyone should strive to have the best life possible.
Not the best
But
life. I'm
when
just talking about if it's in your power to do just getting in shape to the best of your ability. Because at this moment, it seems to me that you're not necessarily moving towards that as far as physical exertion. You're doing that in the diet way, but not physical
Mhm.
exertion, where you're gonna get a lot of progress too.
Well, I go on walks
Good.
and I dance at my house and then I have farm chores. So it's not that I'm not moving. Um,
But your body's already used to it.
yeah.
Your nervous system and your muscles have already reacted in such a way that they know how you need to move. So burning calories here is you're basically at homeostasis at this moment. I would argue.
Yeah. I need to be lifting weights. That has been my way of losing weight. When I lift weights, I drop weight.
That's even better. But like you said, if you you don't want to get any seizure during that.
I know, that's what scares me.
What about just doing machines? If you do machines and you try and mitigate the free weight until maybe you feel comfortable or your doctor says it's all right. Because if it's free weight, you collapse. You going with the weight. But if it's
Oh, wait,
machines,
yeah.
then you
Yeah, the
have a
machines.
safeguard, right? And you need a partner.
Yeah.
You must have a partner. That will even give you more of a safety net. Do you have anyone you can train with?
I tried to get one of my girlfriends to go with me, and she's like she has a job that's very physically taxing.
So
She's a cleaning
she's just
lady.
burnt out at the end. Okay, well, fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. You got any other friends?
No.
All right. Well, then you're gonna need. Here's the thing. You need to go to meetup. Women,
I'm
y'all
trying.
can
I
congregate and
started
commune with each other really quick. Y'all can, even if it's fake, at least it'll be functional for the function of getting in shape. Y'all can
Yeah.
get together and commune and you need to find a woman that you can work out with, because then she's gonna be watching you. Do you know when these events or these episodes come, or are they just straight up sporadic?
They're really triggered by heat. So in the summer it happens more.
Okay. Air conditioned environment, got a partner. You could either do a big box or you can do kind of like a more intimate gym. It's going to be cool in there. You can ask if the AC is running. You're going to tell them, hey, can you make sure you keep the AC or do you guys keep the AC a certain rate? So you're controlling for the temperature. You're controlling for having a spotter if there's any things that happen. This is outside of you getting the okay from your doctor. This is your path. This is your path. But why? Why am I making this so important? Because I'm telling you, if you shave the weight, you're going to be hot on a balance of probabilities. You're either going to be beautiful or hot to somebody. Because a lot of times men view physique very highly than women. Women underestimate this. They underestimate it. So if you're talking about where's this attention at, it will come.
Oh, I know. So I've always been, so I grew up in a time where body positivity was not a thing. I was always a little, I would say chunky. I was never fat until high school. That's when I got like really chubby.
Okay.
But when I was younger, man, kids were so mean. Oh my God. Their body positivity was not a thing. There was no
Mhm.
accepting. If you had a little bit of weight on you, like I literally had a little boy throw a brick at my head and he was like fat. So like kids were so mean.
Mhm.
But now like I see body positivity. I don't agree with body positivity. But I just missed that part. I don't know. It wasn't a thing
Missed
whenever I
what
was
part?
younger. Like, because I wasn't that big when I was younger, but going through multiple pregnancies, pregnancy loss, then going through divorce, I had really, my ex-husband had fertility issues, so all of the
Mm.
pregnancies were always high risk.
Yeah.
That's where the seizures actually started,
Oh,
was
wow.
through pregnancy. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but every time a woman gets pregnant, there's a DNA exchange from the baby into the woman that is permanently implanted. And this is why a lot of men don't want a woman who has had children or been even pregnant by another man. And I get it. I really do. But I can't undo what has been done, you know.
Are you open to meeting men who have kids, having like a family with, you know, he has a son or daughter?
Oh yeah, I love kids. I
So
used to be a
then
nanny.
your pool restricts in one way, but it opens in another.
Yeah, yeah. But I do want I I want someone who wants to leave it in God's hands. Like if we have more,
Uh-huh.
great. I don't want someone who's like, nah, I don't
Yeah.
want any more kids.
Yeah, well, you cannot underestimate getting in shape. And I think a lot of women do. I'm not sure where this comes from. I meet a lot of women who are completely apathetic to getting in shape. I don't particularly understand where this is coming from, but it's a very big issue with men. We tend to we want to what is the word? We want to ravish in our wives' breasts. Is that not our right as a Christian man? We want to have this intense desire, but for some reason women just don't really care about it. A lot of women don't care about it. This would be your ticket to getting what you want. If you're already godly, this would be your ticket, I would argue.
I agree. And I was on my path and then because I had gotten back down to a size 20. I was almost at an 18 again. I'm almost 6 foot tall, by the way.
Nice.
And I was like on my way. And then, yeah, life.
Another setback.
Yeah. It's
Do you want to
hard.
do it?
Like, I do. I don't have support. Now, I did make an Orthodox friend who's in my area. And she just had surgery and she's like, give me 2 weeks. I want to start working out and all of this. So I do have plans to have an accountability partner. And I'm so excited. I can't believe I found another Orthodox person that lives in the tiny town that I live in.
Okay. So then in 2
But
weeks are you gonna run these ideas that we're having with her about
oh yeah, we're gonna I think the goal is to get to where we do 5 miles a day. So
what about them weights?
I want to do weights at home.
Okay, you have dumbbells and stuff?
I do. I bought some.
What's to go up to?
I only have up to 25.
We usually go up to 50 or something.
I know I do need
Because you
some
gotta get your
heavy
legs
weight.
right. You're
I
not really
know,
gonna be
that's
able
where
to
you
do that.
lose.
I mean, You're gonna shave a lot doing what you're doing if you need to be.
I have my son.
He doesn't want to be a freaking barbell.
Oh, he does. Trust me, he
Well,
does. He's
okay. I mean, if you're
almost
gonna
7.
improvise, that's cool. But so what happens? I mean, it sounds providential to me. You have in 2 weeks, your sister is going to be wanting to start with you.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Doesn't that sound providential?
Yeah.
So what happens if it doesn't work out with you and her? What are you gonna do?
Buy more chickens.
To drag around?
Yes, I love chickens.
You're gonna need to find someone who maybe it's an older woman, or maybe you can go on meetup.com and find like Christian gym partners, and you're gonna have to settle for, obviously lack of orthodox fellowship. But Asteria, this is serious. To me, I think it's very serious, because this is how you're going to unlock that gravitas. And it's not just for attention, right? This is just for what you're going to become in the pursuit of that. The discipline, the image, increase, the way you're going to have, because I've noticed what has changed me. I've been doing this for since 2012, and being very conscious of what I eat. I don't even snack anymore. I mean, my wife will tell you my only vice is like my burgers, but even that, like, I'm telling you, if you get on this path and you stick with it, it's going to be a good benefit for you, any kids you have, your son as he grows up, the sexual dynamic between your husband. There's really only an upside so long as we can mitigate the risks of your episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. The only thing, and this is my flesh speaking, this is the spiteful part of me. If I lose the weight and I get, to where I want to be,
You have a chip on your shoulder?
like, huh?
You have a chip on your shoulder?
No. Okay, so okay, and I talk about this all the time, and I tell guys, women don't share their resources.
Mm-hmm.
Men always complain that that women want a polished man. Well, if a man doesn't want to help me in my time of need, why should I reciprocate? A lot of these guys, I don't want to sound mean. I don't know how to say this without
Say it.
They don't
need to
have a
hear
lot
it. These
to
men,
offer.
they need to
They
hear
don't
it.
have a lot to
Well,
offer?
no, hold on. No, they don't have a lot to offer. Like, I have a property. I would be sharing that with them. And I feel like I already have so much that I'm bringing that these guys can't even get for themselves. So I think that they have really unrealistic expectations. Like, there's got to be a give.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
it has to be
that's
mutually
fair.
beneficial.
You're saying
You need an equal that meets or exceeds.
Yeah, I don't. If
Well, that
you're going
means
to have a man
close.
like Scott is saying that meets or exceeds, or if you just need to find a man who you feel safe with, sharing those resources with, and that you don't feel
Yeah.
like you need to guard them in such a way, that man will come. Do you believe that man will come?
I believe God's will be done no matter
Yeah,
what.
but
I just have to do my best.
This is too woo. Like, a lot of women are just like, I don't know, they're gonna be Paul until Jesus basically blinds them with a man. It doesn't really make sense to me how a lot of women are just like completely apathetic towards working towards that.
It's not logical.
It's you.
It is logical. Well, no, it is
No, it's not.
logical.
It's not logical to wait around and wait for something to happen. You got to make things happen.
Because like
Well,
like
okay,
Scott's
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
what
I
happens?
see what you're saying.
What happens like right now? What if literally in the next 6 months you get to a point, you're on your way, you're not even finished, you're on your way to getting to where you want to be, and some dude's checking you out from the corner of the intimate gym you go to, the AC temperature control gym. He's gonna be like, oh snap, Dang, she looked pretty good. Let me go step to her. You mean to tell me that that can't happen?
No,
Instead,
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm
instead
going to
he's gonna
say
have to
that
find
as
you at the farm
well,
or at the
no,
church.
as okay, I this is a very secular view, and I'm so sorry for this. But everyone has a dating market value, right?
Yeah, that's just
And
reality.
yeah, as my dating market value goes up, my standards will also go up.
That's fine. That's totally fine. I'm not. Me and Scott are not disagreeing with you.
Not at all. Like
We think
I
you should
mean,
have those. If you want to have those, that's fine. Especially if you're going to get into the shape that's going to demand that. But I'm arguing right now, you don't have you don't have what it takes right now if you're complaining about it. You don't.
Asteria sounds very logical to me. Like as far as the things she's saying, she's not saying anything I don't disagree with. Well, some stuff like how she talks about herself, but
Right. Same here.
yeah, for the majority, like of what she's saying, I totally agree. And from a man's perspective, I know the host, James, you're married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're married. I'm a single guy and I'm in the dating market and I don't really have a problem meeting women, but the problem is that I have is finding someone that's an equal to myself. And I'm not talking financially. I'm just saying overall.
Yeah.
Like hardworking, driven, has goals, expectations. Like I'm not the type of person that someone's going to ride my coattails, regardless of how hot they are or whatever.
Well, Scott, are you a Christian?
Yes, I would consider myself Christian.
Okay. Well, let me just segue a bit because you coming to me here, Esther, with a pain point. I mean, you didn't come to me, obviously. This is just a natural conversation. It was organic. But this is a pain point, and you can do something about it. You still have the power to do something about it. So, I mean, to me, it's like, this is counsel. I think this is wise counsel.
Absolutely. They told me this at the No Fugazi, and I agreed with them. And I'm like, I'm trying. I am trying. Probably no. Okay, I'm trying, but I'm not trying hard enough. I will say that. I need to try harder. It's really hard because guys talk about women being the weaker vessel all the time, and it is something I carry a lot of burdens that the majority of women don't carry.
Yeah,
Like
I can understand that, especially your
I
medical condition.
refuse.
Go ahead.
Well, I also refuse to put my son in public school because they
Oh, and you're
emasculate
homeschooling?
little boys. Yes,
You're
and
a
I'm
ticket. I'm telling you,
homeschooling.
you're a ticket. You're a good. Look. I'm trying to do the same thing you're doing. You definitely have other qualities that speak just as loud as this potential in shape person that we're speaking about. You homeschooling your kids, that right there is
But I don't expect someone in shape. There's actually studies that show that couples do better together losing weight
just
than
cope.
alone.
This is just cope. For you, it's
Okay.
cope though.
It might be. It might be. I'll admit that. I just really wish that I could find someone that'd be like,
Well, you
okay, well, we
can.
could
You
just be
can.
friends.
Well, that's kind of gay too.
Well, okay, maybe.
Friends. And look, you could meet a dude. You could meet a dude in your way at the box gym. Hey, yeah, you want to work out? Oh, yeah, that's cool. I mean, that could be a possibility. And then for all of a sudden, you guys are dating. All of a sudden, you figure out he's an Orthodox Christian, or maybe you go to a gym where
There's
a
so
higher
many
Orthodox
men
population.
willing to convert to Orthodoxy. So I said something that triggered a lot of Orthodox men because a lot of Orthodox men expect women to chase them. And I'm like, how can you say you're traditional
Yeah,
and
that's not
you won't
true.
even reach out? And
Yeah.
and so, girls, stop it. Sorry, those are my Anatolian shepherds. They sound like lions, but
Yeah,
they're
they do.
not. They're just big old babies. Well, at least to me, maybe not to other people, but to me,
I got
they're
a
big old
question
babies.
for you, Asteria.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I know that you keep bringing up the whole Orthodox thing and stuff like that. Is that a requirement that has to be?
So
For your-
according to my religion, it is, and this is what a lot of Orthodox men get mad about, is that Orthodox women are leaving the church to find a partner.
Oh,
Yep. Because
Okay.
these Orthodox guys are just like, I hate to say it, but they're like, I want a traditional woman. And they earn $15 an hour, they're out of shape, they want a woman to chase them, and it's like they want a nun, but they also want like what do they call it? The virgin vixen is what they want.
All right. Well, I can't. Really
Unrealistic.
speak. Yeah, it is unrealistic. That
Unrealistic.
is unrealistic. But let me now, when we talk about how you would perhaps invite a man, are you the type of person to where, like, let's just say you're at a banquet and you're gonna orbit around the guy you like? Is that how you would show attention or show interest?
Oh, so I am extremely, like, when I am in social situations, I'm very outgoing. I talk to everybody. Like, especially if there's dancing involved. Like, I'm half Greek, half Colombian. Like, the people who don't want to get up and dance, I'm like, you're getting up here and we're all dancing. Come on, we're all
Okay.
going to have a good time. So I
You're
make
an outgoing
myself
personality,
available.
but how do you make yourself available to the guy you like? How do you
I'm
differentiate?
very friendly. Actually, so I've had a lot of younger guys approach me, and I'm like, this is not fair to you guys. Y'all need a younger woman. And so what I do to these younger guys is I'll kind of gas them up. Like this one guy, he was trying
But
to
those are not
talk
the
to
guys
me
you're into. I'm talking about the guys you're into. How do you treat the guys you're into? How do you treat them?
kindly.
How is that different from your outgoing type?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not overly flirtatious, but I'm very like fun spirited and kind and you know, I don't know. How should I be?
Well,
Ooh, I have a tip.
Scott,
I got a tip for you.
Yeah.
Right?
All ears.
If you see it, well, first I have to ask this: is it like would you say you find like the physical, like as far as how like a man looks and things, like is that what you would say like attracts you to them, or like the
No,
personality, or
I could date the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like seriously, like looks means almost nothing to me, and my track record like proves that.
so you like guys who have a presence or their personality?
I like a man who loves God. I like a man who has direction.
but you're not going to know all these things, just like you said, going to these social functions that you go to and people dancing and all. You're not going to know that right away.
Thanks for the likes, guys. Yeah, I agree.
think-
You're not going to know that.
Yeah, you're not going to know that. What draws you to a man, like as far as like at these social events where you find them attractive? Is it physical? Like there's got to be something. Like everybody has something that does it for them. Is it how they're
Is
dressed?
it shoulders? Is it
Yeah,
height?
like
Is it-
something.
So, what attracts me to a man is a man who shows interest in me and pursues me. That is so attractive to me. When a man says, ooh, I like her, I'm like, oh, you like me? Well, okay. Well, maybe I like you too. Let's get to know each other. Like,
Would
I
you say you're
find-
approachable?
oh, I'm always
Well,
smiling.
she says she's
I'm
outgoing, but I'm just saying, how would you? Because oftentimes when a girl is outgoing, that might sometimes be a mixed signal or even a bad signal. Because if you're treating him like how you treat everybody else, then how is he just might say, "Oh, she just thinks I'm like the other dude she said that joke to," or she
Or she could have just had a lot to consume. We'll say in the beverage form. I'm trying
she's
to be TikTok
He's
friendly.
laughing. She laughed at his jokes the same way he laughed. She laughed at my joke. So like, how do I know she likes me? What? I'm not saying you need to make it like abundantly clear. I wouldn't say that. But what do you do to these men that you like that are pursuing you? What
So
sets them?
I don't-
What sets them apart from the other men that you're outgoing with?
And maybe this is a me problem, but I don't do anything until he makes his intentions clear. And then I change how I respond and I give him like more attention. I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe we should go out. Like, and I'll give it the reason why I was giving that one guy as an example. He's 24. I did not know he was 24.
Okay,
But
so you're into him
I-
initially.
Yeah, I didn't even know what he looked like. But I had posted a meme in this Orthodox singles group. This wasn't in person. This is online. And I was like, I have a crush on one of y'all, but you need to figure it out. And they're like, who knows? I was like, I don't know either. And he's like, well, maybe it's me. And I was like, listen, sir, don't flirt with me because I will flirt back. And that's how we got started talking.
Okay.
And
So you
I,
you
t-
like to be witty and you like to joke around. You're bad. You
yes,
find your indirect version of game is your banter.
yes.
Okay, that's a good example. So bantering up a dude. Now, what I would do though, you don't do this with all the dudes, right? You don't just do this with dudes because you're outgoing, right?
I mean, sort of.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Oh,
Just do it with the men that you want only. I mean, if it slips out of you, by virtue of your personality, that's one thing. But you need to be intentional. Even though it's indirect, you don't want to give men who are looking that she does this with all the men.
so
Because you're
I
not
get
once you pair up anyways, you can't do that anyways.
Oh, of course. And I wouldn't. Whenever I am in a relationship, I am very closed
Great.
to certain energies. And like, I don't let guys DM me. I'm like, nope,
Great.
talk to my person.
All right. So you're
You know,
definitely once you're swooped, you're swooped and you're kept.
yeah,
You keep your
yeah.
Okay, so then what's the pushback then?
So a lot of these guys don't have experience with women. And like this guy in particular, I'm just going to give you the example because this has happened time and time again.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, you're too young. But I was like, you're a handsome man. There's no reason you can't find a woman your age. You're 24, no reason. And he's like, well, I'm not confident. I was like, why? You're handsome. I love to encourage men, and I kind of like gas these guys up. I'm like, go and
Yeah, but you don't
put
need
yourself
that. You
out
don't
there.
need that. And on a balanced probabilities, you're not going to find such a man. How old are you, ma'am? Or how about better yet? What is the age range of the men you want?
I would say 30 to 50.
Yeah, they're not going to have a problem
Wow.
with confidence. They're not going to have a problem with confidence. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. I mean, there could be exceptions. Like you could find that moral, kind, golden heart man whose virtue, shines through their personality, and they might be a little bit introverted. But as far as confidence go, you're likely not going to find a man, or you're more likely to find a man who's already can converse, can hold a conversation, can initiate dating.
You would think a lot of the guys my age in orthodoxy are strange ones, but
If you get the more you get in shape, the more the men you're going to bring that out of men.
that's true. Well, also, I think the guys who are in shape, they're just like, yeah, she's not even an option. But I will say that, and this might be like kind of a defeatist mentality, but I'm so focused on helping the youth. Like I have a very philanthropic, like spirit of service. So as much as I want to be married, I see a need for the youth in orthodoxy. And when I say youth, I mean young adults that are struggling. And like I've just set that guy who was flirting with me, I gassed him up. He's now talking to a girl who's 21. They're like talking
Yeah,
on
but
the phone.
what about you, Mr.
I
Yeah, that's what
know.
I was just gonna say. You need to focus on
I
you.
think it's cool to have a heart for that, and it's cool to have some energy for that. But do you not have a desire for companionship this way?
Oh my God. Like I pray to God for God to take that away from me every day,
Right.
multiple
So
times
he hasn't.
throughout the
He
day.
hasn't yet, right?
No.
What if this
That's because it all
conversation we're
depends on
having?
you.
What if this conversation you and I are having with Scott, that you and I and Scott are having? What if this is more providential than you think, Stereo?
It probably is.
I was gonna go with it is.
I mean, you've been praying for some type of solution. What if the solution is you and your doctor can iron out a regimen? 2 weeks pass from now, you hit up the lady who you're fellowshipping with. You guys start resistance training. 6 months, you have made a lot of progress. Does that sound too ethereal to you? Does that give you
No,
any
no,
anxiety?
no. You know what? I'm gonna mark it in my calendar. We had this discussion. I'm gonna lock it down and start focusing. And in 6 months, we're gonna discuss
Well,
where
how
I
about this?
am.
In about 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna be DMing you.
Okay.
So I hope that you have initiated contact or second contact with that lady. How about that?
Yeah, we talk almost daily.
Well, how about me
She just
hitting
had
you up
surgery.
2 weeks from now? 1 day of progress support.
Absolutely.
Okay. So other than that, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about regarding this? I think that's sound
No.
advice. We're gonna get you.
No,
we're gonna-
I wasn't even expecting advice for me. I was like expecting to debate some feminists.
Yeah. Well, oftentimes the added feature of my prompt is people do come up. Actually, you're the second person tonight. Believe it or not, it's probably 60% women, 40% men who come up asking for advice. Even feminists sometimes. But I think this is great. 2 weeks, you and the lady are gonna link up. You're gonna start walking. You're gonna start being accountability partners with each other. Hopefully, this woman is a drill sergeant to you, or
Yeah.
hopefully, you guys can be that to each other. Is she in the similar boat as you as far as BMI? Let's say.
She's smaller. She actually had a reduction surgery up top because she was like she's not that big, but that made her look bigger.
Okay.
So she's like really focused on like, okay, I got this reduction, I need my body to match it. So she is motivated.
You guys have a similar motivation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your intent is, and even if things don't work out, she can at least be a rival of yours.
Oh, well, she's in a relationship, but yeah.
I mean, rival in the sense of you guys are trying to reach that goal of that finish line of the body image, the goal. It's
health,
always good to have
yeah.
a rival.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to wait. Did you have anything else you wanted to mention?
No, that sums it up. I feel bad. I feel like we just made it about me and people left, and I was
No,
like,
this
my
is
God,
this
I'm
is the
so
point of the
sorry.
prompt.
I want to tell Asteria something. I want to give her a dating tip.
Yes.
Okay, maybe you want to grab a pen and paper? You might forget this. It's pretty simple, but it's worth writing down.
Okay, hold on. Pen and
I'm an old school dude. I'm 41. I still rely on pen and paper.
no, I love it. And yeah, my mind is somewhere else all the time. So yeah.
Okay, you let me know when you're ready.
I am ready.
Okay. So when you're talking to a man at one of these social functions that you spoke of, and you're thinking, hey, I want to let them know I have interest in them. It's very simple. This is all you have to say. You just have to say, I like you. Are we sharing a moment? Depending on how they respond, you'll know what their interest level in you is. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's very simple. It's very direct.
I don't know about that one, Scott. I don't know about
This
that
is the whole thing, right? I'll tell you this. I do the banter with the ladies. I go out. I'm from New York City. There's a lot of stuff going on out here, all walks of life.
Yeah.
The whole thing that I'm looking for when I'm engaging in a woman that I'm interested in, that I've just met, we've shared, a little conversation here and there. I want to know what direction it's going in, if this is worth my time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You make it light, humorous.
I could be like as we're like laughing or something, just like touch his arm and be like, are we sharing a moment?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's easy. Yeah.
And depending on how they respond, you can gauge their interest. You understand what I'm saying?
Try not to be a dorky turtle, like an awkward turtle, because
honestly, the awkward stuff always works the best, I've found.
I think
Like
that's good. If you just shaved off "I like you" and just say "Are we sharing a moment?" I think
you
that's
could go with that too. But you know what the whole thing is? Starting it with the "I like you," you know, depending like because typical man that has confidence, carries himself well, is some form of successful, driven. He's going to take that as, oh wow, okay, she's engaging with me. I'm getting a green light. What am I doing with this?
yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I know you've been married for a little while, James, but the game's always changing out there for us single guys.
Yeah, I get you.
Listen,
And given your age, I had to also take that into consideration. You're the type of
I was
dude who has relatively more sexual market value than someone who's my age, especially in her bracket. So, on a balance of probabilities, you
right.
likely have more wisdom to impart in that way. So I can respect that.
And like I married at 25 and I was married for almost a decade. And then I had one serious boyfriend after
But you got
that.
to look at it like this. You got to look at it like this. The past is the past. You can't go back. You can only go
No, I
forward.
know. I'm just saying like that dating has changed a lot and I don't really know.
It's not really. It's changed, but for people, it's like under. Are you a hip hop fan at all or no?
Oh, I'll listen to hip hop, Beethoven,
She
country,
listens to
trap
everything just
music.
like all the other women. You listen to everything.
Well, look. Here's what I was gonna say. For Christian men, it's going to be an underground market, okay? And it's going to be a best kept secret for Christians amongst Christians. There's still a level of courtship there. There's vestiges of it. There's men who are insightful and very very attention oriented. They're going to be looking for women of moral character as you are to them. So don't get discouraged. You actually going to have an easier job than you think. Hell, right before I was about to get married, I got baptized and I was getting approached by women at the gym. Or not at the gym, at the church. They were doing it in their very conservative way, but they're there so long as you fit the build, you're going to
Right.
get that. But if you're not, it's going to be very nuanced and very mysterious. If you wanted just a quick cut and dry, oh yeah, gotta get that body right. I'm telling you.
Well, I got a
Okay.
question for you, James. Real quick, I got a question for you, James. Okay, I'm 41. I think what are you? You're early 30s, right?
33.
Okay, so right, what are your feelings on like, for instance, she Athena, I forget, Asteria. Okay, she meets a guy, right, and then the guy says, "Oh yeah, let's get together," but I'm only going half.
Get rid
Do
of
you
him.
believe in that? Get rid of him. Exactly. Do not split any bills with any men.
Yep.
That is a
So
no-no.
okay, back when I was a little more financially stable before I became a single mother, if a man asked to split the bill, this might be arrogant of me. My father's Greek.
No.
Hold on, no. Hold on. I would pay for the bill and block him on everything.
Oh, hey.
No.
I mean,
Don't do that. Don't pay for.
I know. That is my pride because my dad was like, "How dare a man ever ask you?" And I was like, "Dad," and he's like, "No, you pay for it. I'll reimburse you," and you block him.
Right. So
Like-
we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Here. You're looking for a traditional man. Are you looking to
None
be
of that.
led? I'm just been assuming you are. You're looking for a leader, right?
I still listen to my dad. I don't have the
Great.
covering of a husband right now, so my dad, his say is the ultimate say.
Yeah. So
No splitting checks ever.
and you should
Yes.
even run this advice that we're giving you with your dad. You should chop it up with your dad about the combo you had, just to even sift out and personalize it even further. Because I don't think I would doubt that your dad is going to be disagreeing with what we're saying for the most part.
He might even like my dad wants more grandbabies, and I love my brothers, but they are so apathetic when it comes to seeking a woman. And my dad's like, "You're the only child who gave me a grandchild." Like, if I told my dad, "You know what? Can you just pay my bills for like 4 months so I could go to the gym every day, he might just do it because he's like,
Right.
wait, does that mean more grandbabies?
Right.
Like,
Right. So now, exactly. So then, man. So it's good. It's good that we got you some thoughts, some things to ruminate over. I'm
yeah.
surprised we haven't found any feminists. I see there was one in the chat here.
Bring
Well,
her on up. It's a friendly space, isn't it?
yeah, even Memento's explaining. I don't really mute people here. It's not a safe space. I'm gonna be courteous. That's a lot of feminists on this platform. Let's see. And Jester, good to see you again. Jester, are you Yakub? I think you're Yakub, aren't you? I forgot. So you caught me on the tail end of the last conversation I was having with a feminist. I've noticed feminists come onto two camps here. When I pressure them, when I corner them, they start talking about choice. That's how you know that you got a feminist cornered. Is when they say, "Oh, it's about choice. It's really about freedom." Because I make it very hard for them to argue for equality. But have you had any chats with feminists lately, Asteria? Because I know kind of in the same boat as me.
So I tried to do a prompt because I was like, let's just solve this problem. Like, if women want equal rights to men, that means they don't get the protections of men. So let's grant them all the same exact rights,
Mm-hmm.
but they no longer have protections. If they get in trouble with the law, same consequences. No one's coddling you. If they everything exactly the same, or and that means they also sign up for the draft.
Right.
Or they could say, you know what, I want the rights that the Bible granted, right? And the protections that the Bible gave. I don't want to sign up for the draft. I want to focus on family. I don't want to focus on career. I want the protections of a woman. So I'm going to opt out of those rights and be protected. If we gave women that option and they had to stick with it, I promise you a lot of women would run to the protection. They would run to the protection.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. 100%. I think
Don't be calling women out like that. They don't like it.
I think equality has really been mischaracterized. It's really just preferential treatment, and it doesn't really
Yeah.
swing the other way in benefits of men. I think the only, especially in dating, the only man who really benefits from what's going on is probably a man who already had a lot of options, because he can basically just sleep with whoever he wants.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to have a job. He doesn't
Yeah.
even have a clean record, which is gross to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I
He just
could
needs to be
never.
attractive or have some type of charisma or status. And those are the type of men who really benefit from the dating market right now. The good thing though
Those
is, yeah, go ahead.
No, those guys, I've had guys like that try to approach me, and I get like, I hate to use the word the ick, but I get the ick so bad. I'm like,
Well, it's
I've had
probably just
guys like,
spiritual. It's probably
yes.
spiritual.
And I'm just like, ew, no, thank you. And like, they get really mad because they know that they're super attractive. And because I am a plus size woman, they're like, you're turning me down. I'm like, yep, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I mean, they need to be humble every once in a while as well. So I can agree with that. They deserve, I mean, it's just being degenerate is not really a good quality man. So, Nicola Campbell, thanks for coming up, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Thank you for having me.
Are you from Ireland or Scotland?
Scotland.
All right, thanks for coming up. What's your age, ma'am?
I am 34.
All right. What brings you up today? I know you had some words in the chat with some of the people in the chat. Shout out to Memento. What questions do you have?
I think that anti-feminist is quite triggering. I think that feminism has been twisted into something that it's not. Feminism is basically just advocating for equality. We don't want to be better than men. We're not trying to take over. We just want to have equal opportunities and chances. And I don't understand why anyone wouldn't want that.
Okay, so let's bring this conversation to the context of dating. When it comes to opportunities, let's just say a woman wants to sleep around. You know, she's been convinced by feminist thinkers that sexual liberation is a virtue that she should pursue. Sexual liberation being she can sleep around and find herself amongst sexual activity to go against the patriarchy. You and I would agree that she should be able to do this freely, but should a man settle down with her if he doesn't want to? If he thinks that type of behavior is disgusting, and he wouldn't even recommend his son to marry such a woman. Is that okay?
No, you go and find someone who is the person that you want. You don't try to change someone to be your desire. You go and find someone who has similar beliefs to you.
Okay, and
So
what
there
if?
will be ladies out there who
Uh,
feel the way that you feel.
so you're okay with men shame? Okay, so what about men who shame women because of that, calling her SLUT or just shame going to that woman? Is that good or bad?
I don't think that that's a woman's burden to bear.
You don't think that's sorry, I didn't hear that part.
I don't think that that is a woman's burden to bear. It's not up to me to stop men shaming women. It's up to men to sit down and think to themselves, why
Well, they
do
don't
we
want
feel
to.
this way?
Well, because it's deplorable behavior. Women who are sleeping around are they're pissing in the dating pool, essentially. Most men are not even able to perform in this way. Most men are not even able to contribute in this way, but they would be degenerates as well. It's just that women are more capable of doing this than men are. Do you think that's
So
true or
what
not?
you're saying is that men are more likely to sleep around with women that they think are deplorable.
Well, how about this? Because we might agree on
But, mate, that is exactly what you just said there.
Go ahead.
Men don't want to marry these women, but they are very happy to sleep with deplorable women.
Yeah, but that's then you discard them after. That tends to be what happens. I'm not saying
Okay,
it's right
so
or wrong. It's
perhaps
just
we
what it
should
is.
teach our young men to stop sleeping with women that they think are deplorable.
Well, I would say nobody should be sleeping around, but
Okay, but
if you would
that's
want
not what
me
your
to if you
that's
would
not
want
what
me to have my
your prompt
cultural reins
says.
on society, nobody would be doing it. But given that that's not the case, my men, I'm not so sure what you mean by this. What do you mean by this?
But what you're saying is women who have multiple partners are deplorable women, but you're not taking into account that there are young men all around the world who are very happy to sleep with women that they describe as deplorable.
Yeah, but that's not marry. I explained to you marry. That's the difference.
Well,
is that a
first of
problem?
all,
Is it a problem that men want to sleep with those women but don't want to marry them? Is that a problem?
it's a problem for women who want to get married, but not all women want to get married.
Do you think most women want to get married, or most women don't want to get married? Most women of dating age, let's just say from 18 to 35. Do you think most women want to get married or not?
I can't answer that, to be 100% honest with you, because I can't speak for all or
I didn't
most
ask you
women.
about all, so just
But
most.
listen, well, I did say all or most. What I will tell you is I'm married.
All
I
right,
am a
so
married woman.
regarding yourself, I'm trying to keep. Is that going to be evidence to lean towards one or which way? It's just an anecdote at this point. What's the point of bringing the anecdote up?
Well, I'm telling you that I agree with marriage. That was the reason why I brought it up.
All right, so you're not sure if the majority of women want to get married. Do you think the majority of women are attracted to men?
No. The
Okay,
majority.
So you think the majority of women are not attracted to men? As
I
in
believe in the
sexually attracted.
LGBT. I believe in the LGBTQ community, and I don't speak for most or all women.
Okay, so
And do you, sir,
don't
do
know.
you believe that you speak for most or all men?
I think there's a good case to be made as far as his preference, and it's tied to biological incentives, it's tied to traditional incentives, it's tied to religious incentives, and I would speak in this way regarding the West and how men in the West tend to feel about this. I would make that argument.
Okay, so that wasn't a yes or a no. Do you think that you speak for most men?
Yes.
You think that you're so unbelievably
51%.
arrogant to think that your opinion is representative of most men on this planet?
I didn't. So you're straw manning me. I did not say on this planet. I said in the West. And I have evidence to that. What is your evidence to the contrary? You can call me arrogant all you want, but what is your actual counter argument against what I just said?
So my evidence is the fact that I don't speak for the majority because I don't have the proof that I do. So I'm not making these grand statements that you're making because I'm not arrogant enough to say that my opinion accounts for most people who have the same gender as me. But you are arrogant enough to sit there and say just because you're male, you believe that your opinion accounts for most male men.
You're straw manning me again. I never made that point that just because I'm male, therefore I know how men think. I gave you evidences and I spoke about evidence. I did not make a proof. You said you don't need a proof. So do you have any evidence of the contrary? Because at this moment, I haven't heard anything. Okay, here's your evidence. Your evidence is I don't know what other people think, and I wouldn't dare to say I know what all or most think. It's not necessarily evidence. That's just an assertion. So do you have evidence to the contrary of what I've said?
I agree with what you've just said there. My point is, I do not speak for the most of the female or the women population, but I believe that you don't speak for the majority of the male population either.
All right, so now the question is becoming circular because I asked you for evidence and you're only reasserting your claim just towards me now. It's just circular reasoning at this point. So
no, what I'm telling you is
so if I
I
can just
am
finish,
defending
you don't
my
have any
opinion.
evidence. You're just asserting your personal mental state without bringing any evidence, making it subjective. I pointed to things that you can observe as far as the West being generally religious, especially here in America. The West being from a traditional state, which is why the feminists are trying to get away from the West being Christian, white, Anglo-Saxon male. You can't really speak to that evidence, so you just refer to your subjective mental state. I'm not really interested
What I
in that.
said was,
You don't have any evidence
I am backing up my opinion. I said that I don't speak for most women because I don't have the evidence to speak for most women. But since you're wanting to talk about America, I will speak about the UK. The vast majority of us in the UK are not religious. We don't go to church. We don't practice religion. So that is something that doesn't affect our general day-to-day lifestyle. We also have age of consent from 16. The majority of the people, based on everyone round about me, tend to have their first experience between 16 and 20 and will have a few experiences before they settle down with someone.
All right, so you're incorrect here. I'm just looking it up on Google. If you want to dispute the data, you can. 62% of people in the UK are religious. 46 to 47 are Christian. 6 to 7% are Muslim. Hindu, Sikh, Jewish, Buddhists are going to be 2 to 3%, but these are all patriarchal, or mostly patriarchal religions here. So I'm understanding how you're not.
But that's because you don't understand the UK. Okay, so
do you have any evidence to the contrary? Do you have any evidence to the contrary that the majority? All right,
in Scotland, in Scotland, all of our public schools are Christian. All of them. They are either,
They're Christian, you said?
yes, all of our public
Okay.
schools, they are either Catholic or they will be determined as public, but they will still attend church, which is in the Church of Scotland.
Okay. So I'm looking here, and in your city, as of the census, 42.7%. I'm just looking off of Google here. Identify as religious, with the majority 51 stating no religion. The remaining 6.2 did not. Okay. So
Yeah,
is
so
Scotland
I
is
was
Scotland
raised,
the majority of the West, or is Scotland the majority of the UK, or is it Great Britain?
but is America the majority of the West?
Well, I can only speak about the West. I can make an even better case in the
Exactly. You
West,
can only
but it
speak of
still stands to
America.
reason here. Even in your state, it's pretty much almost half. 42% is almost half here. 42.7 to be exact. So
Okay, but I was raised in a Christian school. I haven't been to church in 25 years. So on that census you're looking at, I will be classified as Christian.
okay.
I
So
only go to
what do you
church
think
when
about the
somebody dies.
statement? Do as to others as you would have done unto you. What do you think about that statement?
So look at this
Is it a
post.
good
The
or
man
bad?
up
Is it a good or bad statement? Is it something we should formulate a society around? Do unto others as you would have done unto you. Yes or no?
yes.
Okay. Well, this is a Christian principle. And I'm explaining. I'm demonstrating how you're adopting Christian principles. So Christian principles like chastity, modesty, being conservative, or temperance, fruits of the spirit. These are how non-Christians bastardize into their own way or cherry pick different parts that make sense to them. So chastity would be no different here. So I'm just explaining to you that even if you claim you're not Christian, you're still adopting from Christian principles. So the
No,
reason why I bring
the
that up is because
so
all
right,
I've
the
said is that when it comes to Christian notions about dating, it's going to have an osmosis effect from the people who are most fervently to believe it down to less, but it'll still have an effect. This will just be further to prove my point about how most
right,
societies
so
that
the
come from it are going to have similar views on chastity.
So the first thing you said was do unto others as they would to yourself. This prompt is anti-feminist. So I'm doing to you as you're doing to me. I'm coming back to you and saying I disagree with the prompt. So yes, I'm coming back to you.
All right, well, you just completely deflected. You didn't answer to anything I
How
explained.
does that deflect
Because
the principles that I
all right, so
follow?
how does
The
that
principles
counter?
that
Okay, how does that counter the arguments I brought to you about how there's an osmosis effect when it comes to Christian morality, and how even though 42% of your population in Scotland is religious, that still doesn't disprove that Britain is not that, America is not that. So how does that make any? How is that a counter argument? I don't understand.
I don't understand what
You
you're trying
saying
to. I
do
don't
unto others as others do it to
listen.
you.
Answer
Well,
a
I'm going to do
question
the
and
same
let
to
me
you,
answer it.
and I don't disagree. I disagree with what you're saying. That's not a counter argument. That's just those are just a non sequitur statement. Are you familiar with non sequiturs?
Just because I follow some principles doesn't mean I follow the full religion.
Exactly, but that stands to reason that you're going to have a bastardized form of virtues, and one of those is the golden rule. So if one of those is the golden rule, another one of the things that can be adopted is chastity. These are Christian virtues, at least how they're understood in the West, because that's how they were given to the Westerns. Now, in a Muslim country, it would be even worse for you. Hell, as a matter of fact, you guys are starting to have more migrants in your country of the
My
Muslim
God.
persuasion, even UK. So these are going to be even more conservative countries that are going to teach even more of a chaste. Hell, they're going to put headlamps on the women over there. So you're telling me that the culture there and the men's influence there is not conservative and religion's not doing its part?
So did you just slightly contradict yourself there? Where
Please
we're
explain.
almost an Islamic country, but most of the West is Christian.
No, I'm explaining to you the conservative
No, you just said
underpinnings.
there we're getting
You asked me a question,
overtook
so
with
would
the
you like to restate the
Islamic
question?
faith.
Or okay, it is quite clear that Islam is going to be even more sexually strict and preach more chastity than Christian. So I'm explaining to you how the religions, back to my original point, are going to contribute to this perception. That was the point I was explaining to you. So it did not contradict. Asteria,
Yeah.
thanks for coming up. Let's see. Go ahead.
Host,
said-
I gotta jump off. I gotta make some phone calls, but always nice talking to you.
Scott, appreciate it. Appreciate it, man.
Oh,
Welcome back.
always. Nicola, all the best to you as well.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that.
And I know I did say request up. I think that was very nice of you to do. Don't think I didn't.
Thank you.
Okay, take care, everyone.
All right, man.
Okay, so I think that the prompt is inflammatory. I think that it is literally put there to bring people in so that you can sort of badger them with your religious rhetoric. I have nothing against any religion at all, but I am not religious. But that is not the reason why I'm feminist. The reason I'm feminist is because I am, first of all, a woman, and I'm surrounded by women in my life, and all we want is to be equal, to have equal opportunities. We don't want to be better than men. We're not trying to take men down. We just want to have equality. And you have used, sexuality and being promiscuous, but men are promiscuous as well. Men are emotional as well. Men are not always successful in fields that are quote unquote masculine fields. Men work in fields that are quote unquote female fields. All we want is to have a fair shot.
Yeah, so in the context of dating, I've just demonstrated to you that you've completely disregarded all the evidence that I brought from the religion to the traditionalism. Hell, I even gave a curveball of Islam. You've had no counter arguments. You've only reasserted your
But that's
initial
because
point. And if I
that's
just let you
because it's
talk, I just
not-
let you talk for like a good minute and a half. So I'd appreciate if I could just continue. So when it comes to you just want men and women to be equal to each other, well, unfortunately, that's not the case. I just demonstrated to you how men have a different perspective on women's body count. I can make the case that women don't care as much as men for a biological reason. I can even give you more biological reasons to my evidence, but I mean, at this point, you haven't even had anything for the cultural. So, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Listen, I suppose my point is that everything that you said isn't relevant to me because I don't take it on me. I don't support your religious beliefs. I don't support the fact that you think that men are judging women for their body count because, okay,
You don't read a lot of feminists.
don't go for these women then. That is exactly what I said before. I'm like, there is so many women out there who will share the same views that you share. Go and find them and let the women who identify themselves as feminists and who want to, have promiscuity in their younger lives and who are not religious and who want to be career success, like just leave those ladies alone.
Yeah, I would encourage most men to leave them alone. So yeah, we would be correct
Okay,
in that.
so we agree.
Yeah, I think most men should leave women alone like that. If we can agree on that, then
Yes. Well,
Right,
that's
great.
it. So it's not anti-feminist.
yeah,
what
it is
you're
anti-feminist. You just don't understand your own position. To be anti-feminist
well,
means
right. So this is the other side. Like,
to be anti-feminist means you go against the patriarchy to promote egalitarianism. If I promote patriarchal norms that are an obstacle to that, that is antithetical to your agenda. So if you're going to allow me to encourage, if I could, all men, if I could encourage all men to have this position, I would, and I'm going to do so. I'm going to continue to do so. If you have no problem with that, then I think that's great. But you don't understand your own position, your own
Right, so
philosophy.
can I ask, is feminism only about smeks to you?
No, but feminism has insisted that the personal and the political, they must be married together. The rights in the West that women have gotten outside of ending innocent life in the womb, outside of that, women have generally gotten most rights at parity to men. They insist on cultural norms right now. So this is where I'm having this conversation.
But you've spent all of this time talking exclusively about women's sex lives. So what else is important to you?
Well, for the topic of this prompt, we're just going to stick to dating. Men leading and women following.
Okay. I disagree. I don't think that women have to follow men. I think if she wants to follow, she should have the right to do so. But if she doesn't want to, then she should also have the right to do that. I don't think that men should be forced to do anything against their will. And I think that we should have the same rights. I don't have the judgment that you seem to hold against women and having a healthy, abundant sex life. And to me, I feel as if that is a male problem, not a female problem.
Oh,
and I think that
yeah, go ahead.
I think that there is worse things that could happen than being unattractive to men. So if there is any women here, I would probably just tell them, like, the worst thing that could happen to you from going and living your life is that men like this won't be attracted to you. And
yeah,
I
that's
think
just
you would.
untrue.
I think
you
I
guys just
think
got
that
you guys got Roe v. Wade overturned, and about 13 states is banned. So that's not the worst thing that could happen. Hopefully, more of this legislative stuff happens. So what I'm espousing here, my arguments, my debates, this is not the worst that can happen. I will cite Amy Coney Barrett, Brett Kavanaugh being quintessential to getting Roe v. Wade overturned.
With men like you,
Roe v. Wade
then
got
maybe we'd
overturned, so
want
it's not the worst I can do. Is just give it dating advice. So,
But if we don't go with men like you, maybe we would like to keep the baby. But if it was your baby, I'm pretty sure I would like to have
why
options.
should I advise? Only a fool would advise them. Only a fool would get into a relationship with a woman who would end the life of the pregnancy if you wanted the kid. Only a complete and utter idiot would get into a relationship like that. So,
Yeah,
so
I
long as you're
totally-
okay,
I
so long as you're
totally
okay, so long as you're okay with me, with my bullhorn and my platform, running or teaching women or teaching men and women to run away from feminists like yourself, I don't think we have a problem. If you're going to give me the liberty and the opportunity, the equal opportunity to do that, I don't think we'll have a problem.
So you do want equality then?
No,
We
I do not.
agree. You
No, I do not.
you
It's not
just said that
possible.
you want me to give you the equal
Yeah,
rights.
in this
so,
context.
yeah,
In
so,
this context,
so,
yeah.
so we do agree that you are looking for
Oh yeah.
looking for equality.
Was
but
Roe v.
but
Wade getting
only when it
overturned?
suits
Was
you,
Roe v.
sir.
Wade getting overturned?
Only when it
Was
suits
Roe
your
v. Wade getting
narrative.
overturned? You guys getting more rights or getting less rights in comparison to men?
Less rights.
Yeah, I support that. Is that a problem?
Yes.
But I'm just doing the freedom that I'm just freely, opportunistically voting to get your rights taken away. What's the problem with that?
Well, only an idiot would get a woman pregnant. They would get rid of a baby. So, sir, are you an idiot?
Yes.
If not, then
ma'am, I'm not
why
sure
do
how this
why
is.
do you,
How are
then
you
why
tying
do you
dating to
need
this?
this law?
Why do I
do
need
you
to make
need
sure
this
that?
law?
Yeah, so innocent life doesn't get ended in the womb.
But if
I
it's
think it's a
only
blessing.
idiots,
I think
if it's only
God, I
idiots
think
that
Jesus,
would do this,
Jesus Christ in heaven that abortions are banned in 13 states. Is that a problem?
sir, you said only idiots would get a lady pregnant who would get rid of a baby.
No, that's not what
So
I
we
said.
don't
That's
need
not what I
this
said.
law if you
That's
guys
not
would
what I
stop
said.
being idiots.
That's not what I said. I said only a fool would get with a woman who, if she didn't want the baby and you did, and she has feminism that teaches her that my body, my baby's womb, that's the fool I was talking about. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
So isn't that exactly what I just said?
No, that's
A
not what you
woman who
said.
would like to have an AB. So
That's
basically
not what
what you're
that's not what you
doing
said.
is putting a law in place that you think that you shouldn't need anyway, because men aren't fools.
No, so
So you're
you
putting
guys,
a
you
law
guys,
in
you guys.
place because you know that men are fools.
I want
Is
more
that not what you
kids.
just said?
No, I didn't say men are fools. I said the men are fools are the ones who get with the feminists. Those type of men,
Okay,
not men
but
in general,
but
but those
you're
type of men.
saying that feminists are the ones that have ABs. So you are putting a law in place to
Take their right away. Yep.
to benefit fools, to benefit the male fools.
Yeah, it does benefit
It's
them.
not about
It does
babies.
benefit them because at least they have a kid that's alive instead of dead. You're correct.
Okay,
But if
so
that means I have to take the women's right away, is that okay?
okay, so what you're saying
Yes or
is
no?
you will
So
put
you're asking me a question. Can you
a
answer mine for once?
foolish man's
At this point, you're not answering questions. It's
mistake.
getting pretty late. So would you want to answer the question or no?
And what? Ask the question then.
Are you okay with me encouraging men, if it benefits the fools, who are going to have their babies aborted, for me to take the woman's right away to abort her kid?
No, of course not. Of course
Well,
not.
why
Why
not?
would that be?
Well, I thought I should be free to choose whatever I want. Should I be free to do whatever I want?
That's not equality, sir.
What's not equal about
Wait,
it? I can't end life in the womb, and neither can a woman. What's not equal about that?
okay, so I need a kidney and you're a match. Can I have your kidney? Or I'll die.
No, that's my body, my choice, right? Don't you guys support that?
Yeah. So you agree with body autonomy when it suits you,
No, you guys
when
don't.
it
You
suits
guys
your
a category
narrative.
here. The baby's not your body. Is the baby your body? The fetus. Is the fetus your body?
If it's in my body, then yes.
It's
If I get knocked
that's
over,
categorically false. So
then it dies with me.
it's not part of
It's
your body.
literally attached to my body.
Oh, it's attached to your body, but it's not your body. Is that correct?
No, it's my body when it's in my
All
body.
right. Well, yeah, at this rate, if you think something that's being attached to your body is your body, I mean, at this point, we'll just let that air out for a second.
So we both agree that you have the choice not to save my life.
We both agree that I have the choice not to save your life.
Yes, and you have the choice to refuse vaccinations.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. You have the choice to refuse medical treatment.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't have the choice.
Well, if it's part of your body, you do. But if it's not, you don't. Too bad. Get your rights taken away. Cry about it. Who cares?
Okay, well, perhaps you should teach your foolish friends to stop putting things in ladies' bodies.
No, I'd rather
Like-
just protect them by making sure by making sure that women can't end innocent life from the womb.
Okay, so vasectomies then. I vote
No,
for
that's
men
my
to have
body, my
vasectomies.
choice. I don't want to enforce any type of thing on their body if they don't choose to. And I would do the same to women, but not to the children in their womb. I wouldn't do that. So
I
at
feel
this
like
point,
you're
at this
just
point, the conversation is getting to abortions. Obviously, you're not going to agree. I am.
no.
So
I feel like you're just trolling me now. I feel as
no,
if
I
you're just
truly believe these things. I swear to you, I am not trolling you. This prompt on above my head and how I'm talking to you, this is what I actually believe. I assure you.
Would you pass these beliefs on to any future daughter that you
I
had?
would pass this beliefs on to hopefully your daughter. If she listens to my conversations, I would encourage her to come up so I can
I
impart
encourage
my
my daughter
beliefs.
to go to university and to have a full-time
Yeah, she can do all
education. But
that.
if
Just make sure she stops by at the TikTok prompt. This one, anti-feminist dating advice. I would love to give her advice as long as she's above 18 for
I was
TOS
just about to say,
purposes.
I was just about to say she's a child, sir. Why are you so keen to speak to her?
Yeah. So, anyways, if she's above 18, anybody, your friends that are above 18, please bring them over here. I would love to convince as many people to not be a feminist. Feminism is a cancer. You've ultimately walked in circles this entire argument, Every question I've asked you, you deflected. You have brought in non sequiturs to my arguments. You haven't encountered anything I was saying regarding religion. So at this point, I think our conversation's over. I gotta close up here. I think you're a good sport, you know. Do you have any well, you already gave your closing thoughts, so you have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You're welcome back up. I know it was a spirited conversation, but we gotta get this thing wrapped up here. Peace, peace. Bro, like 80% of women are feminists. Yeah, it's unfortunate. They have beliefs that they insist on that they cannot substantiate. Yeah, perhaps that was her first debate or something. I'm not so sure. Yeah, Memento, I get restricted every time I go on. But ultimately, it is something that I have to experience in order to get through. Here's my trajectory. I would argue. If I get more, you gotta stop getting restricted, bro. Well, I can't argue with feminists then. A lot of them are going to be women. A lot of them are going to try and destroy my reputation. This is a function of how they act. I don't know, man. It's crazy because you don't say anything so as bad as some of these other panels. Well, I mean, the demons are on my panel, man. Or not demons like in reality, but I got a lot of bad juju around me. It's just it's like turbulence, you know what I'm saying? It's like friction. Ultimately, by virtue of me having a life like this, I'm going to get flagged. I'm going to get demonetized. I'm going to be restricted. But to me, I'm still having fun. I'm still enjoying doing it. I still think it serves a purpose. Talking about it's all men are useless and not needed, etc. Yeah, this type of behavior is inflammatory, but they revel in it because they're the home team. TikTok is going to skew feminists. YouTube is skewing feminists. All the institutions are skewing feminists. The education skews feminists. Hollywood skews feminists. The music industry skews feminists. Welcome to being the minority. The minority that they cry about. Welcome to it. The prejudice, the persecution, the deplatforming, the disenfranchisement. This is all a product of being in a feminist world. This is all a product of it. But I think it's great because the feminists are only showing either their inability to have discussion, their inadequacy to debate, their insistence on shaming. That's all they're showing. Let's see. Who panders to the male gaze? Yeah, I'm not sure who panders to the male gaze. But look, so this is how I do things on live. Is it rage bait? I think just by consequence of me saying it's anti-feminist, it's going to be rage bait. I can understand that, but these are my true convictions. I hate feminism. The more of it goes up in flames, the better. The more decisions that get overturned that feminism put up, the better. The more Roe v. Wade decisions, the better. The feminism is a scourge on the planet. It's currently causing partially the birth rate collapse we're having here in America. It's causing the women to be pussy popping, pseudo intellectual, libertarian socialists. Oh, baby ending, by the way. It is one of the most evil experiments that's ever been implemented on society. Yeah, so I wouldn't say you're offensive. But here's the thing, Nicola. Perhaps you stop trying to personally interpret everything through your lens, I'm talking about feminists in general, the more you have conversation, the more you come up on this panel, or the more you watch this, if you ever come back, you're going to see. Go look in the chat, but whatever. I'm making a general statement. Try not. I notice a lot of women tend to do this. Stop trying to, when you have a discussion, and I'm speaking in general, try not to use your anecdotes as counter argument, but it's almost 99% of the time not a good idea. So back to the whole thing. My point on this panel is to give advice, one, and to trigger debate. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to brush up my chops. I'm trying to get really good at debating because my real intent is to go even harder on feminists. I would enjoy a day when feminism ceased to exist. I think things like Roe v. Wade getting overturned was one of the best things that's happened to America in the longest. I mean, a consequence of it harming and hurting feminist feelings is one thing, but the fact that we were able to at least get innocent life protected in 13 states here in America, that is absolutely wonderful. Memento says, LOL, I don't know, I'd be fine with feminism if women actually get held accountable. Yeah, but here's the thing, Memento. If we held women accountable, that would mean they would be subject to the draft. But women can't fight the wars. They're not capable. Collectively, they're not. Go look up sexual warfare. Go look up the GRAPE of Nanking. Go look at what they did to women in Bosnia. Women are not capable of fighting the wars. They're only going to become incubators to the enemy we're fighting. That's how it's going to play out. I think societies probably know collectively that we probably shouldn't bring women to war because they'll just get impregnated and sent back. So ABs will always be available to those who have a means to access it. We all know that. Yeah, but making it illegal definitely sets a precedent. And hell, it would be another thing. I think there would be a wonderful day. I think the heavens would rejoice once these people who perform the abortions get put down as well. If we can legislate it to make it illegal in that way, I think that would be awesome. So, with that being said, if you guys want to be notified of when I go live, just hit me with a follow. In reality, as Memento is explaining, I get flagged every damn time. I just had a cordial conversation with a woman, with a moderator, could have presumed was a feminist, me making her laugh and her making me laugh, was having a good conversation. I'm getting flagged for that. So if you think that I'm going to get out of you or TikTok hell without you guys' support and your engagement, so your support and engagement goes a very long way. Hell, if you want to see me argue against feminism, if you want to see me go hard against feminists, this is my intent. If you want to see feminism recessed, or if you want to be a part of making feminism more hated or more ostracized or more stigmatized, just by virtue of me making sound arguments and engaging, if you want that, if you want to see me convince more men not to date feminists, if you want to be a part of that, subscribe to the channel, hit the follow button or whatnot. I prefer women not work hard labor neither. Yeah, that'll be a natural consequence. I ultimately want people to get along. Well, we can't get along if feminists are pathologizing men. You realize that, right? If feminists come up with white papers to pathologize men and institutionally, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. We need a counterculture that is going to be bigger. We need something like MAGA for dating dynamics. We need something that's similar to that. We need something that's going to make them shake in their boots. Hell, how long have they been talking about Trump? Ever since he got in the office. Ever since 2016, for 10 years, a decade straight, they have been crying, bellyaching, and complaining about Trump. But he's gotten some really good cultural and legal victories for us. But we need a cultural shift. I'm blessed and honored to see how many women are snapping back at feminists who I met, from Hysteria to Chaotic to the Fairy's Wife to Buyers Matters to Auntie Jen to Dot, the Muslim chick. There's so many, there are feminists there are women who think similar to me that I've had conversations with that I really remember. Not sure about the first three waves, but the fourth wave is a complete women's advocacy movement. Yeah, but trust me, Memento, the more you learn the history about feminism, the less you're going to agree with any other way. That's why I take the position I have for so long. I'm against all of them. And I have arguments for them all. But the more you check up on these lies or people who argue similar to me, there's a guy named Body Count Matters. I think he makes a good case towards body count, why it does matter, why it should. The Fairy, the Period Fairy, he's been arguing against feminists more than me. He has a higher track record than me. That's on the TikTok space. On the YouTube space, people like Myron, even though he's red pill, I don't necessarily agree with him. His hatred of feminism, I love. I share that passion with him. Andrew Wilson, probably one of the biggest feminist Darth Vaders. His wife, oh my gosh. His wife wrote a book, Occult Feminism. Who else that I can see? There's people like Alexander Grace. He's a guy from Australia. There's this lady. Let me find this lady. She's a psychiatrist. Let me find this psychiatrist lady. Let me find her because she is a anti-feminist. Feminism, psychiatry. I see her all the time on my feed, but she's not that searchable. I wish I could find her. I'm going to have to remember her for next time, but she's a psychiatrist, and she breaks down the negative effects of psychiatry. She even argues for the narcissism in it. She talks about how it's changed institutions a lot. I can't remember her name. But anyways, there's a lot of people that are on my side that I take inspiration from, that I get information from, it's the reason why I do what I do. Because I'm trying to get feminism out of here. It's a cancer. I wouldn't wish this on my daughter, on my enemy's daughter. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Well, maybe I would. Here's a good thing about feminism. Have you watched any Allison Armstrong? Okay, Allison Armstrong. Let's see. Allison Armstrong. Yeah. I've seen this lady. She has a wonderful smile. Pretty old lady. Yeah, I've seen a lot of her stuff. She has a face for TV. I've seen this woman. I've seen her on TikTok, but I haven't really. Oh, who else is good on TikTok? Ilyas. It's like Ukrainian or Russian dude. He just completely, all he does all day is debunk feminist facts. That's all he freaking does. Ilyas is another one. Womp Tomp. I watch Womp Tomp. He's anti-feminist. But other than that, on the TikTok side, I'm not so sure who else. But here's the thing, guys. We have to start having these conversations not just on these panels, but if you truly feel convicted in a way, you have to start having these conversations with your friends and with your loved ones. Because what will also be a push in the right direction is men getting back to leadership. It is antithetical to the feminist movement. The more patriarchal structures we can erect, the better. Yeah, that makes me think of different levels of argumentation. But all right, guys, I'll be back here on Wednesday. If you want to be notified next time I go live, just send me a follow. And Memento, thanks for hanging in there, hanging by. Kyle, thanks for coming up or for stopping by. QWERTY, appreciate you guys. And I'll see you on Wednesday. It's fine. And on the YouTube side, I think I did a little bit better watching you guys' comments. So I will catch you Wednesday. Late.